most definitely, most definitely. So
Yeah.
for those who want to jump in, y'all could. This is a live open panel discussion. Are men intimidated by independent women? So y'all could join the conversation. We're gonna have a real conversation. We're gonna go into why this is even a thing. Why is this something that's always brought up in the dating game? You know, when women have certain things that don't go right in a relationship, you know, they will say stuff like, "Oh, well, he didn't want me, because he was intimidated you know, by the fact that I have my own money and pay my own bills." Right? So we're gonna get into why that's said. And not all women, but is it said in a genuine way or is it disingenuous? To say stuff like that because, not everything is intimidation. And also how much of it is said woman's fault when a man backs out when she says something like that? Because I think a lot of times it's not that the man is intimidated by what you have. It could be that you have ran him off by you actually using your ego and you trying to intimidate him. You know what I'm saying? That happens. Men will tell you on their side that that's what happens as well. You know, there are things that come with that, you know. But if you're, a woman who is nice and respectful and practices humility, then there should be no reason why a guy bounces because of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, what's the opinion? Obviously not all men, but do y'all feel that some men are intimidated by independent women? And then, like I said, what is the responsibility on the woman's side? What are women doing? What are women saying in these relationships? Because it takes two. It's not just always the men, and it's not just always the women that are the problem. So, we have to make this make sense. So what is it? You know? So I need ladies and gentlemen to join the stream. Definitely ladies, because I need ladies to speak on this, and I need men to join and talk to the men and the women. You know what I'm saying? And to get to what the real root of the problem is in these instances where some, women feel like men are intimidated by them. You know what I'm saying? So it's open to the public. If people want to come in and join, they can. Just request it. Hit that box with the plus sign, and then you can come up and we can talk. So someone in the comments said, Kitty K says, I think a lot of independent women compete with men and that creates issues. I mean, relationships are not about competition, between a man and a woman. Like that's that's problematic in itself. As a man, you shouldn't be competing with your woman. And as a woman, you shouldn't be competing with your man. Yup. Right. She said the I'm better than you mindset. That's not good. And we know that's not good. You know, I would say a lot of relationships will end like that, on either side. They will end just like that. And that's not good. I don't know, Kitty K, if you're available to share your perspective for the stream, I would like for you to come up because I want to hear what you got to say. If you're able to. There we go.
Hello.
Hello, hello, Kitty K.
Do I have an echo?
You're okay.
Okay, cool. Um,
All right.
yeah.
If you don't mind, before we get into conversation, I'd just like to just announce the rules for people who are new to the platform. Okay. We just ask that you don't use any foul language, TikTok guidelines, respect the host, respect each other, and if you cool, you cool. I'll keep you up here. All right. So hey, Kitty, are men intimidated by independent women? Your answer.
I think that they can be,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the man, right? I think that some men can feel emasculated by women who are, let's say, like hyper independent boss babes. I can do it myself and I don't need you to do it. I think that men who operate, I guess, in a more traditional aspect of masculinity, that can make them feel kind of useless and demasculated, and that can make them feel intimidated. But on the flip side, there are a lot of, like I said in the comments, independent women who use that as an attack on men, right? Like I had said in the comments, I'm better than you. I don't need you. I can do it myself. I don't need a man. I don't need him. I don't need my husband. I don't need, and that's, of course, that's going to bother the men. Why wouldn't it bother him? It would bother me. If I were a man, that would bother me. And I think they interpret that as them being intimidated. Like I've seen men say, oh, I don't really want a woman who's a super hyper independent boss babe. And they take it as, the women will say, oh, he's intimidated by me. When really they just don't like the attitude that can come from women who are like that. And I don't think a lot of them like to hear that.
Yeah, I would say this. Um, it's me. Hold on a second. Just mute up, okay? Thanks for coming back. I'll get to you in a second. So Kitty, I would say this, right? So I hear what you're saying, and that's the context that gets left out. And that is when two people get together, right? And there's a situation where a woman, not all women, but a woman in that relationship will kind of throw around what she has in her accomplishments to hang in front of the man's face. And then when that man skips out, then they'll say, oh, he was intimidated. But the thing is, you were intentionally trying to intimidate him. If we know what the word intimidate means, by definition, you can't use that as a means to, like you said, better than you concept. And I feel like women who have that mindset feel like hey, the money replaces the man, and that's not good, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't respect a man saying that the woman replaces the money. I don't think money replaces any person. People are valuable in what they bring. I mean, some people don't bring value, but for those who do bring value, you know so. And I think when you mentioned, Kitty, the whole hyper independent boss babe mentality, um like you said, it's the attitude behind it. If you're not someone who's pleasant to be around, you're not peaceful, it doesn't matter what you have. Nobody's going to want to sign up for that. So I understand that as well. You know, hey, it's me. How you doing? It's me. You can unmute.
Hey, hey, I muted myself. But hey, I'm doing all right.
Hey,
Conversation, and
hey,
it's funny because I was talking about it yesterday. Can you hear me?
hey. Yeah, it was kind of breaking up. Yeah, we couldn't hear you. So, thanks for coming back. So are men intimidated by independent women? Your answer, and then you can go. Go ahead.
So this is actually a conversation I was having with somebody yesterday, and I don't think men are intimidated by women. I mean, it's they use the wrong word intimidation, but I don't think it's intimidation. I think it's that um some some women come off really strong like you said, saying I do this, and the third, and the third, and then men are like pushed away because they're like, well, if she's leading with what she can do and what she has, what am I here for? In a lot of occasions, some of them want to feel needed. Most men want to feel needed. And then the other thing that I've ran into is um, like he was saying, like the guy I was talking to yesterday, he was saying that because I told him, I was like, a lot of times guys tell me I'm intimidating, and I'm like, how am I intimidating? I don't understand that. It He said that one of the reasons some men do that is because they're not ready to provide for that woman, because once they hear that what she can do for herself, again, what can I do for her, and how am I going to be able to step up and be that person for her? So it's more of like the provider side of the men gets shut down before even giving them a chance to even see if they can do that, even want that role with you. Um, so it's interesting. I don't know. I think that men are not necessarily intimidated, but more or less turned off, turned away, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the two and how one talks to interacts with each other. I understand that, but I get what you're saying, and obviously, this is not a all men, all women. It's going to be a minority, not so much a majority. All right, let me get to somebody new who just joined. Hey, Blake, you there?
Yeah.
All right, Blake. All right, you're new here. I just want to explain the rules, okay?
All
No
right.
foul language, TikTok guidelines, respect the host, respect each other. If you cool, I'll keep you up here, all right? All right, answer
All right.
the prompt. Are men intimidated by independent women?
I don't think so. I'm gonna be honest. Like, what do you mean by independent? Like women who are like a family of four, single mother, like that stuff, or
Well, what you will find in hey Kitty, can you mute up in between? I hear a lot of background noise.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought I was muted.
No, that's okay. All right, so Blake, this is what this means, right? You have situations where um men and women get into a relationship, right? A woman who is, on her own, doing things like adults do. But let's just say she's successful, like above the average woman. Um, she, her accomplishments and what she has, the money that she makes, whatever it is, when men approach a woman like that, how do they act? Is it something that they say, hey, well, that's a good woman. She's a catch. If she is one, we'll just build together. Or is there a situation where men see what a woman has and says, you know what, I don't think I can. I don't think I could, compete with that. So let me just back off. That's one situation, another situation. But then it could also be that a woman is using those things, not all women, but a woman could be using the things that she has to, throw it in a man's face, like as if what he's accomplished is not good enough and good enough for her. And so they will say, well, he was intimidated by me, and that's why he didn't want to be with me. Does that kind of help, you understand like the question and the
yeah.
premise?
So I don't really. I think that definitely does happen, but I don't think it happens as much as people think. I think it's just more woman's seems slightly intimidating, and then they become power. I guess like wanting the power in the relationship,
Mhm.
and I guess the guys don't really. I think that's like kind of the reason. Like I think women are more about having the power in the relationship than I'm not saying this for all women, but like they're wanting more power and the ability to control the relationship.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that women that are independent and I consider intimidating is not necessarily because they want to have power of relationship. I think that even if a woman doesn't say what she has, what she can do, a man can tell by how she carries herself and how she speaks, if they can handle that type of woman or not. And based on that, they sometimes make decisions that they cannot handle that type of woman. There's many guys who will say, I wanted her, but because I see who she is and how she carries herself and what she brings to the table, and know that I cannot be that for her. They then say she's intimidating in what way? In reality is themselves and saying, I just can't do it for this person how they would want me to. And that's an expectation they put in their brain that, oh, this is the expectation the woman has, but sometimes we don't.
I mean, sure, obviously that does happen. Like somebody's more nervous. What? Somebody.
Just her background noise.
Yeah, go ahead, Blake. You can finish.
I think that does happen, but I also think it also is kind of like if a guy sees a woman who's got it together and sees somebody who I guess is independent and strong, I feel like it also like I guess turn him on a little bit too.
I think a lot of people really need to be honest about what they're looking for. I feel that there's so much discourse around relationships because let's say like when the hyper independent woman also wants a hyper traditional man, right? Let's say that. Like that's going to cause an issue because a lot of men who are hyper traditional men want a hyper traditional woman, and those women are not usually independent. At least not independent to that degree, right? And I feel like a lot of people just aren't, they're almost like not their type's type. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
I get what you're saying, but I also do think it kind of matters on like the type of person. Like if you're a shy person, you might get like a little more scared off. But I think most dudes who aren't like shy, who are willing to go out there, I guess are more, would be like less intimidated or whatever.
So that to me sounds like it's not an intimidation problem, it's a confidence problem. Then at that point, if you're not being confident about how you're approaching a certain person or certain situation, I don't think it's a independence thing. I mean, I'm reading down the below and somebody said that independence is a result of selfishness, and I don't think that's correct. I mean, I think that everybody who is independent is just an adult who knows how to take care of their own stuff and knows what they want out of life, and maybe have worked really hard to get there. And when they meet somebody, they want to be able to be a partnership, not the one carrying on everything. So when I say something like that, some guys may think, oh, well, no, she's she is intimidating, but in reality, is not intimidation.
Racist.
Independence, sorry to interject, but the independence being selfishness is so weird because number one, I don't think that anyone would ever say that if this conversation was revolving around men being independent, because that's expected of them. And also, you should have some kind of independence in your life, because what if you don't have that other person around? What if, God forbid, they pass away or something happens? Like I don't consider myself a super independent woman. I mean, I have a job and I know what to do, right? I could be independent, but I have a husband who I rely on for a lot of things. But if he were no longer in the picture, I can still take care of myself. And that's important.
Exactly.
Everybody should be independent.
That's a partnership at that point. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that are taken out of context with a lot of situations when it comes to a woman being independent, or they think she's self-absorbed. But no, like sometimes you're just preparing yourself, because the reality is we're in 2026. A household needs two incomes. Now, if you're lucky and blessed with your husband being able to provide for you that way, that's great. But I don't think you should lose your independence 100%. I think you should still be able to carry and take care of, and know that if something happens to that person, or you guys don't work out or anything like that, that you're still able to provide and protect yourself.
All right, real quick before we continue. Hey, Golden Einstein, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. So
here.
you're new to the panel, so I just want to discuss the rules, okay? No foul language, TikTok guidelines. respect the
Yeah.
host, respect each other, and answer the prompt, and then you can get into the conversation with everybody else. Are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
No. No, they shouldn't be. Pretty simple. I mean, like, why would you be intimidated by somebody that's... Men are the dominant creature. We always will be. So if there's somebody competing against you, I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, like, yeah, marry them, create a family. That's how they're, rich, dude. Double income. You find somebody that's just as hard working as you are, then yeah. But at the end of the day, you should not be intimidated. Boys are scared. Women develop so much earlier, and people are like guys are like we have social media now, so you just swipe left to right to find a girl, man. No, dude, you gotta go talk to her. She's at a grocery store. You see a beautiful girl, like a 10 in your eyes. Go ahead. Hey, say hello. I don't know. She's in the cucumber section. Have the Twitch cucumber. Hey, how's it going? Right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I disagree with the statement, and that's my philosophy. Questions?
Okay. Okay. I kind of cut out in between, but I did get the gist of what you were saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
My
language, my
service
man.
is shitty.
Language, my man. But yeah, it kind of
Well, that's technically
cut in and
not a
out.
cuss word. Okay. Dang it. Well,
Are you there?
my point was like I disagree with the statement.
Yeah.
The dominant creature thing was a little interesting.
Well, go ahead, respond to that, Kitty. You got a rebuttal?
I'm just confused by what you mean of like the dominant in what way? Like you guys are like physically stronger usually? Because I guess like that's true. I'm just confused by what you mean by that.
I think he meant dominant as, I mean, when I hear dominant, I hear leadership. I don't hear strength as in physical strength. When I hear there's a man is a dominant, is supposed to be a dominant. Yeah, a man is supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be the head of his house, right? That's what it comes to mind for me. But
okay, in that case, I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
in that.
Why does the lion have like so many like ladies?
And the thing is, like, how many real leaders are out there when there are a lot of men are still figuring themselves out and working on themselves to become that leader they say they want to be, or they confuse leadership for control. There's a huge difference there. And when you start talking about that, that's when a controlling man says that an independent woman is they will not call us intimidating, they will call us difficult or something like that. So there is a lot that goes to this conversation. So many things go into it of why a woman will be considered intimidating, why being independent and self providing are issues on many occasions.
If she can bench press more than me, she's 100% intimidating. I'm scared of her. That was a joke, but yeah, most seriously, 100%.
You better
I would never
go
talk to a girl that
work
can
out
bench
some
press
more.
more than me. No,
The thing about being a leader, a lot of men, like she was saying, say they want to be a leader, but can I trust your discernment? Can I trust you to be a leader? Because how are you supposed to lead me if you're leading me into bad situations or bad choices or whatever? You have to be a man who has good discernment. You can't just be a man and be a leader because you're a man. You have to actually be worthy of being a leader and the head of your household.
All right, so there's a lot of background noise with some people here, but let me go to Tonio. Tonio, you there?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Tonio the Don. All right, check this out. You're new here. We just got rules, okay? Watch your language, TikTok guidelines, respect the host, respect each other, and if you cool, I'll keep you up here, all right? Answer the prompt, and then we can get into the conversation with everybody else. Are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
If a man is intimidated by a self-sufficient, independent woman, then something's wrong with him. He's a mall. Don't I mean, it's just that simple. And I look at it like this: as long as the entitlement and the bougie disrespect come behind the independence with the overzealous attitude, then that's the turnoff part. But as far as them being strong and independent, absolutely. I mean, a lot of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our independent, strong moms, because Pops wasn't there. So that goes without saying, my brother.
Yeah, I can get with that, and then we'll get more into it. Reluctantly human. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Hey, the rules are watch your language. You know what I'm saying? Respect the host, respect each other. And if you cool, I'll keep you up here, all right? We're gonna answer the prompt first. Are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
This might be a hot take, but I'm going to say no, because we can't be intimidated by something we allow.
We'll expand more.
Well, just hypothetically speaking, if men turned back the clock 100 years and decided, well, all women in America no longer have rights and the 19th Amendment is repealed, what kind of actual physical opposition, other than picketed signs and loud voices and protests and people shaving off their hair and boycotting, marital relations, would be the response?
Anybody got a response to that?
We took
Do
it
you think
way
women
back. So we're going back to, if men didn't allow it, so we're going back to that controller power. Because the
Right.
reason that women got rights is because we had no say at all in anything. So
Right,
what
but
you're
men
saying is that
wants to change the law to give you guys your rights. Because you got to
we had
remember,
to fight for that. We didn't just get it. Women had to fight for
But
that.
what he's saying though is men did that.
you guys
That's his
fought
argument.
signs and protests. You guys didn't actually fight. You didn't fight a battle. You didn't declare war. That's just the thing. No country has ever been founded by or protected by women. There's been no Amazonia ever.
I wonder if that's a good thing.
It's just probably the natural way of things. We're built stronger
100%.
for a reason, to protect and to
Our
provide.
minds are different too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Call me crazy, but like, I swear to God, like my wife, if somebody came in my house, she'd probably take the dog and herself and like leave. Me, dude, I protect my whole family,
Damn
like
straight.
100%. You know what I mean? But she though, I mean, she probably find like the closest window that's open. I love her to death, man. I really do. But yeah, she'd be gone with the dog.
Apologies, I was start watching
I
my
would
language.
I would argue that those issues come more from the societal aspects of, I guess, what people expect men to do than just how your brains are wired. Like, you can have the same brain but be in a completely different environment, and men wouldn't.
Why would we want to though?
respect.
That's the thing. Like, why would we want to? Like, we are I'm gonna use the term again, dominant. We are the dominant species on the planet. Males are. Like,
It's been
we can.
ingrained in you guys.
Well, Kitty, to
You're
expound
totally
upon,
right, Kitty.
we are the top
Okay.
protected. So within
Okay,
our
so like, let's just think about it like from like history perspective, right? Like what he was saying, right? We voted against that stuff, right? Okay, who invented the light bulb? Who invented electricity? Give me like 3 inventions that a woman has done that is actually good for society.
Okay,
X-ray.
so if men so much were okay with women being independent, why do they have such a problem with it now?
I don't. I mean, like you're
Oh,
talking
there's
to
a lot of
losers.
men that do.
Well, you're
There's
talking
a
to
lot of men
losers.
that do.
Well,
That's not me.
again, like you're talking to losers, babes. I don't know how to tell you this. You're
I'm
talking
not
to
talking to
losers.
none of them. I'm good on that. But I'm saying, just in general, I'm asking all you male, why, if independence has become something that some
Well,
men
what is?
consider a a intimidating thing,
Are we
Because
if
you're
talking
we
about
looked
money?
at as a
why do
challenge. You're not looked at as a femininity aspect, because a male by nature is dominant in his way, right? So then you have a woman that is independent, and maybe a lot of independent women, some of them are we have unbalanced hormones as well. Some of them have more testosterone and estrogen. Some of them have more
Okay.
estrogen than testosterone. So, you know, like
Wait,
to
hold.
me,
Right,
I feel
but
like
that
it's
Yo,
a
doesn't
Star
take
Dude,
away an
Starfire.
independent woman doesn't take away from being feminine. That's
Hey,
not what my question is.
hey, hold on,
Men,
y'all, hold on. All right, so you can't just come up and start talking. Starfire, I gotta explain the rules before you talk, okay? I like that you're here, but just give me a second, okay? All right, she left.
host,
All
bro, I
right,
like you.
it's simple. I'm
You're
not,
the man. You're the man.
yeah, it's cool for y'all to come up, but it's like, we this stream we gotta have order. I know other TikToks are like
Yeah.
a wild west and people just say and do what they want, but I was gonna bring it in. I even messaged her and I said, "Hey, hang tight. I'm gonna bring you in the conversation." But my boy is here. Yo, Zacchaeus, what's up, Zacchaeus?
Hey, what's good? Good to be here, man. What's up, man? What's up? What's
All
up,
right,
y'all?
brother.
Chat. Fifth
All
General.
right,
What's good?
brother. I'm glad you're here. You know the rules. I ain't gotta explain it. You can answer the topic and then talk with everybody else. Are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
Some are. Some are.
You in the garage, dude?
Yeah, because you have to understand that even at the time when women were dependent on men to be breadwinners, some men, even now, some men don't like the simple fact of some women making more money than them.
So
They don't
so
like.
so money is like the independent.
Yes, yes. Generally, yes. Just speaking, yeah. That's how some people put it. So they don't like the simple fact that that women are making more money, so they get a little intimidated by that. So to answer that question, yes, some men are intimidated. I was never, because I think it's the communication and the chemistry and how you gel together. Because they have some women that do make more money than you, and you're married to somebody that's making more money than you do. But you know what? It's the love and the respect you have for the love that's there and the respect that's there. And I was never intimidated. My wife, I don't care if my wife makes more money than them, because you know what I look at it as? The Bible says you become one flesh when you're married, right? You become one flesh, and your money become her money.
All right,
So
riddle me this then.
Yo,
Should
Golden, hold on.
people
Golden,
hold on?
hold on. I know you're
yeah.
eager to talk, but we got somebody else who jumped on. I gotta let them kind of get
Okay,
in, okay?
I got you. I
Hey,
got you.
Chad Wife, you there, Chad Wife?
I am here, yes.
All right, answer the prompt, and then we can get into the conversation with everybody else, okay? The rules are watch your language, respect the host, respect each other. All right.
Beautiful.
Chad Wife, are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
I'd say absolutely they are.
That is negative at this time, I think.
Yes, my answer is yes.
Okay, yes, and then what? Because you're gonna have to substantiate your claim and just unpack what you mean. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, certainly. I mean, I think that there's a level of I want to say lack of security in like dynamic shifting. So I think people have went from this was maybe an expectation or behavior that men predominantly participated in, and now that the tides are turning, there's a level of discomfort surrounding that expectation change, and thus then a lack of security in where men's placement in the world should be.
Golden, go ahead.
Is that cheese? Is that how you say it? So like
Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus. Oh, sorry. I just had a question for you when you were talking about hold on, I lost my train of thought. Got too much going on. What was Zacchaeus like talking about? Man, I had a really good point.
Zacchaeus.
Hello? Yeah.
Hey, Golden has a question for you, but he kind of needs you to repeat some of what you said. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I said, I'm not intimidated by it because the Bible says you become one flesh.
Yes.
And
All right. That's it. Sorry, I
and
didn't mean to cut you off.
when you work together with your wife, when you're
Yeah.
working together, it's about the respect and level of respect and love you have for each other. So when we
Ando.
when I make a decision to make a huge decision, I always include her, because you know the thing is that
Right.
when you make a decision, you don't make a
So
decision on
so
your
my,
own.
my, my, my question to you is like, do you guys have a joint account, Or do you guys
Yes,
have separate accounts?
separate and joint. Because
Okay,
sometimes
separate and joint. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
dude. Like my wife's from Colombia, dude, and like we did the joint account, we did separate accounts. We did the joint account, we did the separate accounts. And like now we're back on separate accounts, and it pisses me off because it's like, again, you're married to somebody, dude. It's like your best friend,
yes,
and my money is your money. Your money's my like. You know what I mean? Like, let's just
yeah.
make it simple. Like, I don't want to go to dinner and be like, okay, yeah, split this fucking tab up. You know, like that's stupid.
Yo, Golden, you gotta stop cursing, man. Go ahead, Golden. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
I said frickin'. That's not a cuss word.
You said F-U-C-K, man. Come on, man. I heard
I
that.
think it's like Frikaen.
You said
I'm trying to
Golden.
help
Come
you.
on, man. Come on, Golden. All right, go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead.
But anyways, man, that's one thing that makes me like very angry today because of that, dude. Like, I want a joint account again. Like, I want a wife, dude. Like, I don't care if she makes more money than me, right? It doesn't matter. Like, we're a team, okay? So you make, let's just say, like, you make $100,000 a year. Guess what? I make $50,000 a year. Yeah, you double my income. But guess what? My $50,000 contributes to our family.
That's right.
Our freaking family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I mean, that's understandable that you want something joined, but also that's a conversation you got to have with your spouse and see why is she feeling the need to have separate right now? Is there financial situations that are causing for her to feel like it's not secure to have it together right now? I mean, it could be a lot of things. That is communication that you have to have with your spouse.
I'll tell you right now, it's because like when we had a joint account, for example, like we went out on, it was actually Valentine's Day. Took her to a nice dinner, did like the whole flowers and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Went to the bar, right? And I bought a guy a shot. And she got mad. She got so mad. You know what I mean? Like, cause like he took a picture of us, cause it was like we had the balloons and stuff. So I bought him a shot. Like, respect, you know what I mean? Well, she's, again, a penny pusher. Oh, you bought this guy a fucking $3 shot, a freaking $3 shot. And, you know, she got mad. So that's when we went to the other account, because she's like, "Oh, I work hard for this money," and then like you're sitting there like paying for somebody else's shot, and it's like,
do you think it was just that situation, or do you think there's something deeper going on?
No, it's 100%. I mean, that's it. Like she again, she works hard for her money. Her conscience is like, I work hard for my money. Like, I don't want to like give back to people. My wife will not give back to people. She's from Colombia. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, she will not she will not give a quarter. She will not give a penny for somebody being on the street.
Well,
100%.
I don't think it has anything to do from her being from Colombia, because I'm Hispanic too, and I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm like Hispanic people don't want to give or anything like that, or that just Colombians are just penny pinchers, because everybody is, I think.
Mean it
But
like
I'm
that.
not, I mean, I know what you mean, but like I'm just saying, like it like that has nothing to do with it. I think there's deeper stuff going on that maybe she's not voicing to you, and you have no idea about. That's why she's doing what she's doing now. Because if she was fine with you guys having a joint account and all of a sudden switches it up, I mean, there has to be something more. And I don't think that's like her trying
She
to be
thinks I spend
controlling
recklessly.
either.
That's all it is. She thinks I spend recklessly.
There you
That's
go.
all it is. 100%.
People are
But it's
not
like,
okay, so there's different cultures amongst different Hispanics all over the world. Oh, she's okay.
Continue.
Yeah, go ahead, reluctant, because you were going somewhere. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah.
I was just saying that, the culture in Spain is quite different from Colombia, from Argentina to Mexico. So it really just depends. And for her to say, oh, well, I'm Latino as well, and that doesn't say, okay, not all Latino or Hispanic people are the same.
No, we're not all the same, but we all have a lot of the same cultural stuff. And I will say that as somebody who is around all types of cultures and all types of Latinos and all types.
Let me ask you this then: do your parents have a joint account, or are they separate?
They have both.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a question, right? I got a question for you. What do you think about people that say? Because I met guys like this that say, "Oh no, my wife cannot make more money than me." Oh no, what do you think about that?
Well, you know what
I'd
that
love it, dude. I would 100% love it. Like,
you know what
babes, we're getting like a new TV. Babes, we're
in the
getting like some
modern
new rugs. We're getting a plant. Yeah.
well, no, I'll take this one, man. Look, in the
All right.
modern sense of things, everything that man used to provide has now been replaced with money. A
Mm-hmm.
woman can build a house, but she can pay
Yeah.
men to build a house for her. A
Yeah.
woman can't repair her own car, but she can pay a man to repair the car for her. Now, they can claim they don't need men until they pay for our services.
Mm.
I don't think we
So that's
say we don't need
why.
men. I think that's incorrect to say. I think we're saying we're tired of dealing with men who are not willing to do the work. I think that's where this independence has come from too. If
You're
men are
ri-
not willing to do the work, then we're going to figure it out ourselves. And yes, if we have to pay another man to take care of it, if the men that we try to deal with don't want to do it, or we just decide to walk away from, I mean,
you're
it is what it is. We're going to find a way to get it done. That's where the
You
independence
are
had come
going
from.
to your apartment built by men. You drive on a road built by men. You drive a car built by
Not
men.
true anymore. There's a lot of women in the construction
Show
business
me
who
one.
help build.
Okay.
I've been working construction
Built.
once a time in my life. Those girls aren't doing nothing. I'll be real.
Exactly. Built.
So again, you
They're
sit
like the
there.
sign holders,
I
man.
can't relate. I have a construction business and I'm the owner of that construction business.
The owner,
Yeah,
you
you
ain't doing
sub.
the
You
construction.
1099 the contractors out. How many of those 1099 contractors are females versus males? Answer me that. It's me.
She hires an
Guaranteed,
all-female
90% of them are fucking males.
construction crew.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Stop.
To who?
Petrie Boulevard and Severn Avenue.
Okay.
Transfers available to
If you are in a burning building, who will you want to carry out?
Best
It's not
possible
about
way
strength
to
and
do
nothing.
it.
Let me finish. It's not about
I'm
strength
not
and nothing. It's
sexist, man. I
about
don't care. I
being
don't care.
real. If you're in a burning building, who you want to carry out? You weigh
A
200
cat.
pounds.
Here's the thing,
200
though.
pounds?
My house
Yeah.
would not be burning if it was built by a man, though, instead of a woman.
Clarify who else is in the building. Is it
Can you just
me?
please answer the question? If you're in a
200
burning
pounder?
building,
No.
you want a male firefighter carry out or a female firefighter?
I want a male.
For sure. I can't carry a 200 pounder out of a freaking like apartment 3 complex, man.
Okay,
No.
so how you expect? There is a, I'm sitting here, listen, there is a big difference. There is a big
100%.
difference. And I believe the difference is money.
It's always
Wait,
been
what?
money.
And money is the root to all what?
Evil, bro.
Money make people be disobedient.
Yeah.
Money make people betray each other. Money make people lose respect for
But
each other.
money buys
Yes,
you
sir.
happiness. You cannot argue me that.
Let me just finish. Reason why I said the respect, because if you put the money in front of respect, you're not going to have no respect for your man.
Next stop.
It doesn't matter if you're an independent woman, if you make $1 million, it's about respect.
Uncle
No
Yebo,
man,
what
I
are we
don't care if
talking
my wife
about?
make $1 billion. It's not about the money. It's about the respect and the love.
Exactly.
But when the money oversees that, what you gonna have?
Yeah, problems, bro.
Chaos.
99 problems,
and,
but
and when you have chaos in a
a
marriage,
bitch ain't
Wait,
one.
wait, Uncle Yebo, wait, who
and
would you
when
want
when you
to
don't have
carry
no
you out of
respect in
burning
a
building?
marriage, you have chaos.
Uh,
And a man, not to say a man is a leader regardless. And when you have role that reverse, because
yeah, like the
it's
women.
it's
Colonel
about
Mbasa.
leadership. It's not about money. It's about leadership. Because guess what's going to happen?
The women
When you
don't
have
lead
money
though.
involved, you're going to make decision that is not logical.
Captain Mbasa, I have a question. Who would you want to carry you out of burning building? Man or a woman?
Hey, yo, hold on. Before you answer that, y'all chat, what'd you say, Tim?
I said Captain Mbasa.
What's that mean?
That's a captain from a famous what's it called? Gonnywood film.
What is that?
Gollywood? Gonnywood? You don't know it?
Some words like Bollywood from Bali. So
It's
Ghana
like
would be
Gonnywood,
like
yeah, Gonny Hollywood.
So why you referring to y'all chat as that? I'm just trying to make sure you're not being
Because
disrespectful.
he's talking like he's an official guy, you know?
Well, he is
And
official. He's
he
my
comes out with
co-host.
like a little African descent in his voice, so I threw a little bit of spin in there. Some of y'all might
Listen,
call
wait,
me
excuse
Jackie Chan,
me.
but I would never hate, you know?
Excuse me. Listen,
I got him out of here, yo.
No. Let me tell you something. This platform is going to weed out the wheat from the tares. It's going to weed out. Listen, I'm sitting here and listen, and people come on this platform, they're just looking at the title and not looking at the reason why we have these titles. They come up here talking and how they're cursing, they're using profanity. That shows the character of them. I'm not going to argue
Some
with
people
people
use that in their language, though. Come on, man.
because what I'm saying is I'm listening to people chat, and people are speaking. I don't know what this gentleman coming towards me, but I know the reason why. I know the reason why people's coming after your chat.
What's the reason?
And I'm going to say this once. Anyone know what your chat stand for? Then you understand the root of these podcasts that me and Mr. Fifth is doing. You are responsible daily. Accountability. Everyone must take accountability. Woman, man, everyone must, and stop putting your accountability on other people.
100%.
And pick up your garbage and handle your garbage and start throwing on people.
Nobody does that, though.
Women have this thing. There's nothing wrong with being independent, but always know that when you clash against a man, you're going to be all. And if you look at it, realistic it is. Sorry for the noise. And I look at statistic. A lot of women, they put the money. They're 35, 40, 50 years old, and they're by themselves. That's reality. That had nothing to do with color. It's across the board. They by themselves. Why? Because they think they're so independent. This list, unrealistic list that they have, they want a man 6'5", making $300,000 or $1 million a year. Which man is that?
I don't think that's the reason, though. I don't
It's
think
the
we
reason.
become independent because of wanting a man with unrealistic lists. I don't think that's the reason at
No.
all.
The list that
Because
the
my
guy
list
has.
is not unrealistic. I've been married before, and I've been in a long-term relationship, and it just did not work out because I do not want to be controlled. If you come to me with leadership, with real men leadership, I'll be submissive, but I'm not going to submit to somebody who cannot lead me correctly. That's the problem for
Who
me and why
chose that
I'm
person?
single.
You chose that person.
That's why I left them.
So take accountability for that.
I sure
You
have.
too,
That's
bro.
why I'm saying what I'm saying.
All right then. So it's accountability. So we all have to take accountability for what we say, what we do. But the problem is, no
But why
one
is the
wanna
woman
take
a problem when she wants to be independent? I don't see how that's a
There's-
problem,
there's-
and why men should be acting the way they get so upset with it.
Nobody's saying a woman
Men
can't be
have put
independent.
us into that position. If you're really talking about accountability, men have put women in a position where we have to be super independent.
First off, accountability is kryptonite to ladies, all right? And you can't be independent. You are completely dependent upon the infrastructure that men have set up and we maintain every day of your life.
Not anymore. It doesn't work that way, though. You guys are talking about control.
The water you drink was purified and brought to your apartment by a man. The electricity you enjoy and charge your phone that you're on right now
What did I say?
brought to you by a man. Everything you enjoy and take for granted.
Without women, there wouldn't be men, though. You got to realize that, and you guys are being
And I
respectful of that
hate
too.
whenever men try to use the
Hold on.
okay.
We got to get some order, and I need to keep people within the confines of the topic. I'm asking, are men intimidated by women in terms of a relationship? I get the points that you're making, but come on, man. It's going to go down a rabbit hole, and it's me. You doing it too. I understand as a rebuttal, but Mama, I'm glad you're back, Mama Miso. Thank you. Thank you for coming back.
Of course, good afternoon.
No problem. No problem. You're always welcome here as long as you're respectful when you were last time, and I appreciate you for coming back, okay? Are
course.
men intimidated by independent women? Go ahead.
No.
I think men that haven't really amounted to much are intimidated by independent women. I think anybody, honestly, even if you
What
take
is
the
that
gender
to you,
out of
though?
it,
Like, what is like amount?
I think even taking the gender out of it, I think some people who might not be satisfied with where they are in life are naturally going to be intimidated by people that have done something with themselves. And I think part of it comes from an internalized inferiority complex. And it's all projection. If you are satisfied, even if I can meet a woman that might physically look better than me, might have more than me, but if I'm satisfied with where I'm at, I can give her congrats without it being jealousy or animosity. So I think when it comes to like the nastiness and the way some men talk, I think a lot of it is an internalized hatred or dissatisfaction that they have for themselves and where they are in life. So then they try to project it on people that, quote unquote, are doing better than them. So I do think that there is a subsection of men that are definitely intimidated by women that they feel like they can't control.
So my
And I
question
land
is,
there.
my
Okay,
question
so
is,
go
what's
Golden, hold on, brother, hold on, hold on 1 second. I gotta talk to Mama. All right,
sorry.
all right, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Projection goes both ways, right?
It
So
can, yeah,
what?
100%.
So what is your response to women who, who got things going for themselves? Because at the end of the day, a lot of women will say they're independent, but they're just adults. They're working just like
Mm-hmm.
anybody else is. But projection could come in this way. If a woman who's has a certain amount of college degrees, a certain amount of salary, she could project that on the man that she's trying to be with or currently with by throwing it in his face. And then when he responds, then they want to say, oh, well, he was intimidated. But if you're purposely, as the definition of intimidate is, you're trying to do that to him. He's not trying to do that to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not you. I'm speaking in general. What do you
Right. No, I know.
say to what do you say to women who do that?
So there is also, on the flip side of it, there is a subsection of people that they obviously getting degrees, being adulting, being self-sufficient is a great thing, right? Of course. But there are some people who unfortunately make that their entire personality, right? And then I think, just speaking on social media though, I usually see those type of women having those conversations in response to men that are talking down on their degrees. And I have been seeing that a lot more where it's like, oh, you think because you're making this amount of money and because, you've got your degrees, everything. So I think a lot of those women are likely speaking in response to men that are downing their degrees. However, if you're talking about women that are kind of throwing it in a man's face, maybe the man doesn't have as much as she may have, or he's making more than her partner, then that's not okay either, because you should be more than whatever job or chose to pursue. So that's not okay either. I wouldn't necessarily say it's projection, but it's a little bit like an elitism mindset, and that's not okay either. So, yeah.
Mama, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have friends, right?
Of course.
Like you went to like college
Mm-hmm.
with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would you laugh at somebody's like, let's just say communications degree?
No. That's what I was saying about the elitism. Like, I think we are
Really?
all more than our degrees,
Really? Okay. Well then, like, yeah, like you and I have nothing else to talk about, because like I would laugh at that, 100%. You're going to
Okay.
school, for like you're paying a lot of money to go get a bachelor's degree, right, in
Mhm.
communications. All that says on that degree is like you're good to talk to people. So for those 4 years, you could be, I don't know, waiting tables. You could be working at a call center. You could be actually making money, moving up in a company,
For a
then
moment, a
going to school.
communications degree has a lot of technical skill.
So,
You have to learn
okay, go ahead.
learn how to broadcast things. So probably not the best example. Let's use a liberal arts degree.
Communications? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty technical job to have to
No,
run
it's
a
not.
or to make sure that your electrical connections and your multi-million-dollar communication.
What was your minor?
Excuse me? I'm not a communications major. I'm just telling you what the course contains.
And I think you're
since,
swaying away a little bit from. Wait, I think he was trying to bring it back to his point, so we don't get too far off the top.
So okay, like you may be right, brother. Like you may be right, but like when I was going to school, you're 100% wrong.
I personally don't degree shame. I don't degree shame at all. I think if I'm not paying for that degree, I personally have no say so as to what they consider important. I'm pretty sure communications is way more than just public speaking courses, but I took public speaking my first year of college. And even though I could be someone who's very sociable, the skills that I learned in that class alone was very beneficial. And even throughout their degree, whether you do communications, liberal arts, the connections that you make from your professors, they may put you in rooms that degree was kind of like a catalyst for. So I would never degree shame. Obviously, there are some programs that you have to go to college for, and there might be some programs that you can just get, or some jobs that you can just get without necessarily having that degree. But just being in communion, just being in the same spaces as some of those people, it definitely would help kind of propel your career. So I would never say that getting a communications or liberal arts degree is a waste, because again, the connections that they were able to make through their professors, through their classmates, through job fairs, whatever it is that you gain from your college campus. What's the point of degree shaming? You're not paying for it, so what does it matter what they choose to put their money into?
All right, everyone, hold that thought. Bree, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you, Bree. Thanks for joining the stream. I like to explain the rules because you're new here. Okay, no foul language, TikTok guidelines. Okay, respect the host, respect each other, and answer the prompt before you get into the conversation with everyone else. Okay. Are men intimidated by independent women? And let me break the context down because we going all off. In a relationship, okay? In a relationship, are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
Yes, I believe so.
And why?
I feel like men are intimidated by independent women because, most of the time, a man's place is, to go to work and just come home, but not really like spend time with the kids. Like, to say if they have a family, the wife has to nurture the kids, get the kids ready for school, this, that, and the third. And, the man, he doesn't really hold a values place in his kids' lives per se. He's just most of like the bank. So that's just my opinion.
Wow. Okay. Host,
So
can you define for me real quick, just so I understand? What are you trying to specify for us, like in a relationship versus like overall independence? I think maybe I need clarification.
me too.
So this is the intention is this more as a dating topic. Okay. So a lot of times you will hear in situations where a relationship between a man and a woman doesn't go awry, that a woman will say, oh, well, he backed out of the relationship, or he backed out of wanting to pursue me, or he didn't talk to me because he was intimidated by my independence. So this is more so about in a romantic relationship, marriage, are men intimidated by women? Obviously not all men, but a lot of women will, not all women, but women will use that word intimidated, when things don't go a particular way. And what I'm minding is that projection comes on both sides. A woman can do something disrespectful in that situation to a man, and then when the man responds, she'll just say, oh, he was intimidated, when really, no, that could have been you doing stuff. But then also, there are situations when men have, quote unquote, been intimidated by a woman, and a woman has done actually, not really caused it. You know what I'm saying? Didn't say anything to or disrespectful anything. Somebody could just be like, I'm not going to do that because she makes more money than me. Like the examples that Zacchaeus and Golden made. Well, she has a higher salary than me, so let me just back away because I don't know if I could even deal with that. Like, you got stuff like that. So that's what I mean by the actual topic.
Yeah, because I think earlier he was bringing up like the electricity and the things that men have physically built. And of course, no one's necessarily disagreeing that we may need men as a whole, but within the guise of a relationship, for survival at least, you don't necessarily need them. I think most human beings want companionship. So it's not, some people can say like, I want a partner, I want someone to spend the rest of my life with, I want to get married, whatever the case is, cool. But for survival, you don't necessarily need them. And I do think, and of course we're speaking generally, it's not all men, but I do think men historically have been known for, I think like Bree said, being providers, being protectors. But now in 2026, the playing field is evening out a little bit more. So women can go into very, very lucrative fields where they can make a decent amount, where they don't necessarily, you can be like a shitty, you can't curse, my bad. You can be like a bad partner, and a woman can choose to step away from that because she doesn't need you for your money anymore, Whereas previously some women were in situations where they may have not necessarily been happy in their relationship, but where were they going to go? So I think some men are having a hard time kind of evolving with that and not necessarily being as needed as they previously were. And I've dealt with that before too, where like when I was working as a bedside nurse, all the men would be like, oh, big money, da, da, da. But I'm just like, dang, like, you know? So I think some men, there is a certain level of intimidation when they see a woman that's in a specific career or a woman that is financially independent, because that's all they may have been known for, or that's how they pull women is by using their money. When they see a woman that doesn't need them for that, they don't have anything else to offer. So
now
put
that
it
I'm
out.
So like
Asian of the
let me
topic,
let me piggyback off you real quick. You said survivability, right? I just want to ask. So you would like to have a man in a situation when stuff gets hot, is what you're saying?
No, I was saying that women don't necessarily need men as much for survival as they might have done in the past. So I know the BLK women, for example, have always worked, but there were certain limitations where women were limited by the fields that they can go into and things like that. So if you had a woman that was with maybe like a partner that was ABing her, or, you know, in a relationship that she wasn't really satisfied with, women were limited as to where they could go. Whereas now, because I make my own money, because I don't need a man financially, if I'm with a guy that's not treating me well, I can just hop and go. I don't necessarily have to stay in a relationship that's not serving me, is what I mean by survival.
Right. So feeling safe though, again, feeling safe, you would be comfortable using force when someone breaks into your house or your car? Or would you have your man do that?
So if I'm not with someone right now, right, then
That's
I
the
would have
question.
to protect myself. If someone is breaking into a house and I'm with a man, then more than not, he would be the one to get up and go handle that. But if a woman is single and she's in a position where her safety is being questioned, she has no other choice but to protect herself, whether it be physically, whether it be with the pew, whatever the case is.
And to add on to that, I wanted to say that
Bree, hold on one second. I'll let you go, but I gotta let Access Granted come in. Access Granted, how you doing, brother? Welcome back.
I'm doing fine. Power to the people. Always about the elevation. So let's do this.
That's what's up. All right. The prompt: are men intimidated by independent women? And on the context, we're talking about within a romantic relationship. Okay, male and female dynamics within male and female dynamics in a relationship.
Women
Okay,
making
that's the
more money
context of
than
the
men.
question.
Okay, I'm gonna say no. Not my opinion. Actual facts. No, we're not. Because here go the situation. If we see you, if we see you making your own money, but then when we see you, you're basically doing the same job that we're doing, and then for the most part failing at it, and we just try to figure out what's going on, and then we try to get you to not do the job and not really just work, and so let us do all the hard labor, like all the STEM jobs and all that stuff. Then it's understandable. But when you actually yell it to the high hills, you don't need us, and then guess what? We turn our back and say, okay, you don't need us, and then guess what? Turn around and require some of the things that you need men for. Like one of the examples is change a tire, actually attack a burglar when a burglar needs it, and also you come up with a scenario when you said pew pew. Okay, guess what? Not all pew-pews are the same. So you got to get one that fits you. And more than likely, a pew-pew that actually is for you is not going to be as powerful as a pew-pew that's going to be more effective. Okay, so it's like, okay, you get a pew-pew that's fit for a woman. The kick is not going to be as hard and all that stuff. We'll hear the gun pile, but in some cases, most people are not going to be intimidated by that. But the bullet that actually hits the guy is probably won't even penetrate, because more than likely most women's guns is probably a 9mm, and those ain't going to even, for the most part, if you got thick layers of clothes, they ain't even going to pierce the guy. So that's one of the case scenarios. So the pew pew myth has got to go away completely. You're gonna need us, and we're gonna need you. But the thing about it is, in most of the case scenarios, actuality, men don't need women, because we don't need y'all we really don't need y'all for anything else but just repopulation. And then again, we really don't need you for that. But we're not on panels or on or going around throughout the streets or going on talk shows or anything like that screaming it. We know we don't need y'all, but yet we're not going to announce it to nobody. But socially, for some odd reason, women have deemed it cool to actually say, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I got this. I got this. I got this. But yet, no matter what the case may be, when you need your house fixed or anything fixed in your home or apartment or condo, guess who's coming? It ain't women coming. You're not asking women to come. You're asking men to come fix that. When it comes to plumbing or anything like that, men are coming. Not women, but men. And then y'all will say, well, y'all take the job, y'all take that job and not no, we let you come in, you just didn't want to do it. You didn't want to follow the same rules as you didn't want to do the same things that men do. We treated you like equal, but then guess what? You still wanted us to treat you like a woman. But yet the job is mainly men, so we're used to talking to each other a certain way, so we can't talk to you that way. So
Okay.
intimidating is not really I'm sorry, let me land right here. To be intimidated, no, we're not intimidated by you. It's actually funny that we just find it funny that you always say it all the time, and that's about it.
Okay, Bree, you were trying to speak. Do you remember your thought?
Oh, yes, I want to agree with what the other lady had said earlier. I feel like men are intimidated by certain women because, just like with what he said, they may not be, but some men are. Like, a lot of women nowadays, they have to go out and work. They can't just, sit at home and just stay in the house all day while the man works. I feel like the roles have switched. And, a lot of women, they are in STEM jobs. They are, doing factory, jobs and stuff like that. So I feel like it's not more so of a, we trying to say y'all intimidate, but at the end of the day, a woman, she could do the same thing that a man could do, and a man would still be jealous of her because of that. So I feel like it's a 50-50.
Yeah, we're never going to be jealous of y'all when it comes to that. Never.
But I think that's why he was talking about within the guise of a relationship, because everything that Access was saying were things that you can outsource. So we're not denying the fact that men as a whole are important. Yes, you're going to see men in mostly jobs that require physical labor. We're not denying that. But if my car breaks down and I'm a single woman, I got insurance. I'm gonna call AAA, So I don't necessarily, you don't need a man for those things, How have single women, how have widows, how have they been surviving? So we're saying that you don't necessarily need a man for survival within the guise of a relationship. We're not speaking on men as a whole. If something's wrong with my place, if I call like a maintenance person, the likelihood of that person coming being a man, we're not negating that. We're just saying within the guise of a relationship, everything that you said that men can do can be outsourced. If I need to have a tire change, I'm not going to sit on my luck and say, oh, no, I'm a single woman. I can't. No, I'm going to call somebody to come and fix it and pay for that service. And it is what it is. A lot of men nowadays in 2026 can't even change a tire. So what are you talking about?
What would happen if your phone is dead and you can't, and you ain't got nobody?
What would you do? I know how to change a tire, but what would you do as a man if you couldn't change a tire and your phone was dead? You'll figure it out. Walk to the nearest gas station. Women are not some feeble. Women are not some feeble, weak-minded. You figure it out.
I get it, mama, but here go the situation. About 99.9% of men know how to change towers. So that 1% of men that don't, we're not worried about them. So basically the vast majority of men know how to change a tire.
But still, it's not like nothing that again, we're not negating the fact that men are important. We're just saying that within the guise of a relationship, if you're a single woman, are you just saying that they should just lay down and unalive? Like, you're going to have to figure it out. I've had male friends with their tire pops. They didn't have the tools. They're calling me, hey, are you off of work? Are you close by? Can you come help? You just help people. You figure it out. Like nothing, we're not negating the fact that men are important as a whole, but he's specifying within the guise of a relationship.
Hey, one mic, please. Come on, man.
Go ahead.
You can't hear two people talking at the same time. Go ahead, mama. You was trying to finish up.
No, it's okay. He can go ahead.
No, mama, you did contradict yourself. You're going to call the insurance. You're going to call AAA. AAA is going to still call a man. So no matter what the case may be, you're still going to call it. They're going to still call us.
So I don't think you're understanding what we're trying to say, though. He's talking about within the guise of a relationship. Right. So we're not negating the fact that men as a whole are important. I'm not negating the fact that the person that comes to fix my tire is a random man. We're not negating that. We're just saying that if as a single woman, do you need a man for survival? No.
Yes,
Because
you
if your
do.
tire is broken as a partner, do you need a man as a partner for survival?
Yes, you
If I'm
do.
why? If I'm
You
single right
always gonna need
now,
us for
if I'm
survival.
single right now and my tire is flat, I can just call AAA. So what that they send a man? I didn't need a boyfriend for that. I didn't need a husband for that. I
That's not
figured
what
it
the prompt
out.
is saying, but that's not what the prompt. It says, "Are we intimidated by you?" And the answer is no.
Okay.
So,
That's your opinion, though.
no, it's not an opinion. That's an actual fact. Are we intimidated by you?
But there
No.
are some men that genuinely are, because like I said when I first hopped on here, there are
Okay.
some men that
Thank you for
unfortunately have
telling me.
not, or there are some men that are unfortunately dissatisfied with where they are in life. And when they
Okay.
see a woman that has amounted to more by their own standards, they do it's an internal thing. They're dissatisfied with themselves. I'm
If
not
we
even
put it
knocking
in,
them. Go ahead.
okay, mama, if we put it in numbers, because for some odd reason I don't know what it is about most women, they always like to go for the minority. They don't understand minority versus majority. So if we put it in numbers, 99.9% of men are capable of doing those things. So basically, you're worrying
Capable
about
of
the
doing
vast,
what things?
basically all the things that has to do with functioning in the world.
Not
So
there's no stat that there's 99.9% of
yes, ma'am,
anything.
it is, ma'am. Yes, it is. Okay.
Where did you get that stat that
Well,
99.9% are
let's
capable of
put
doing all things in the
we're
world?
arguing over that. I already knew you was gonna do this. Since we're gonna argue over that, I guess I'll go ahead and say it like this: majority of men knows how to do everything that's in STEM. The vast minority is the ones that can't. So we're not worried about the minority of men. We're worried about the majority. The majority rules the world. So guess what? Most of the men that you're looking at, most of the men that's going on is ran by men, and the infrastructure is ran by men. So guess what? It's not ran by women or anything. Women are not doing infrastructure work at all. Not at all. We are. We also let you do it too, and you still don't want to do it.
Do you understand what it means when we say within the guise of a relationship? We're not negating the
But we're
fact
not
that men
talking
are.
about a
That's
relationship
literally what
now.
he said. Host, can you clarify? Because I'm pretty sure he said before you got on here that we're talking about relationships.
Okay, well,
Mama, to be fair, unbeknownst to you, you did go to society at some point, but access, here's the thing, access. Um, let me get a little more detail. You will hear women, not all women, obviously, because I don't believe in absolutes.
yeah, I
They'll
understand.
get in a relationship with a man. They'll have whatever it is that they have,
Hmm.
and they will use that as a means to qualify the kind of woman they are. So what I'm saying is, a woman will say, for instance, I'm single. I'm all these men are da 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 because I have this degree, I have this education, this salary, and this is what I do for work. All that does is tell me that you're an adult and you're self-sufficient. It doesn't tell me if you're caring, sharing, nurturing, um, um, emotional intelligence. It doesn't also tell me what kind of if you desire to be a wife, if you desire to be a mother. Those are the things that don't qualify you on how good you are in a relationship, but you may have them and think that it does, and then you'll throw it in a man's face. Because we all know, because we all know that it doesn't matter how much someone makes. If you are not pleasant to be around, then it doesn't matter. And it's not because a man was intimidated. It's because he was like, well, I'm not going to find any peace here. So I think that will further help your point. Go ahead.
That sounds like competition. That sounds like, okay, if I'm playing basketball and you say you're a good player, and I say I'm a good player, I'm being competition with you. I'm gonna try to get the upper hand as best I can because you said you're the best player, and I believe I'm the best player. So in most cases, that when it comes to us women, the only thing we want from our women is FBI, feminine, beautiful, and inspirational. There's nothing inspiring about you telling me that you got a degree. There's nothing inspiring telling me that you make this amount of money. There's nothing inspiring about that at all. That doesn't
Y'all
show
say
me.
that, but then when y'all get into an argument with y'all,
Hold on, Brie. That doesn't show me anything. That doesn't intimidate enemy. And if anything, it kind of makes me want to get away from you, because guess what? As I look at a feminine figure that I will feel that's supposed to be feminine, beautiful, and inspirational, you're not that at all. Your attitude screams that you're not that at all. It screams that you're a man and I need to be in competition with you and I need to outstage you.
I agree with what you said, but I kind of disagree with what you say right there, because I just feel like this. A lot of, like, let's say, you and your boyfriend or whatever, y'all was working at the same job, but you make more money than him. He may feel a little more jealousy because it's like, I'm the man, I'm supposed to make more money than you because you're the woman. And, the work industry is more male dominated than women dominated. But now a lot of women are working now and, they make more money than men now. So I feel like, intimidation.
Intimidated by your money. You're taking, the thing is, what he's not intimidated. He's more or less like, okay, you're trying to take the place of me. I'm the man and I'm the provider. So you're taking that spot from me.
But then why is it whenever women do ask for money, then y'all call them gold diggers? So it's kind of like you can kind of never win. So some men, of course, we're speaking generally. Some men will come on here and then they will say things like, oh, we don't care about your degree. We don't care about that. But then in the same breath, want to go 50-50. But then when a woman says, no, I want to be fit, feminine, and taken care of, and I want the soft life, and I want a provider, then y'all will call her a gold digger. So it's kind of like no matter what side of the coin someone sits, there's always going to be someone that has an issue with it. But men and women aren't a monolith. So you may not necessarily be intimidated, but I've seen men that are intimidated. And I'm sure every woman on this panel can acknowledge there definitely are, again, a subset of men that are intimidated. And there's a subset of men that, will big up their partner if she's, getting accolades, getting degrees, stacking up, whatever the case is. They're proud of them because, again, a lot of it is internal. Some people internally are not satisfied with where they're at. So then they project that dissatisfaction. I can be making however much I'm making, and I can have, financially, all of my siblings, I'm doing pretty well for myself, but my siblings are doing better than me financially. However, because I'm genuinely satisfied with where I'm at and I love them and I'm proud of them, I can big up their accolades without projecting any type of dissatisfaction I may have onto them. That's what we're speaking on. So there is some men, no matter how you try to spin it, it might not be you, but there are some men that are not satisfied with where they're at. So therefore they project that dissatisfaction onto their partner. It does exist. And we see it all the time on this app and in real life.
Well, Mama,
And to add on to that,
Hold on, y'all. Miss Cracky, are you there, Miss Cracky?
I'm right here.
All right, Miss Cracky, here are the rules, okay? You new up here, watch your language, no foul language, okay? Otherwise, I'll get people out of here. Respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat. Respect each other, one mic at a time, okay? You can join the conversation, but just let's answer the prompt first. Are men, in the context of a relationship, okay? Are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
Sometimes, yes. I think that some men are imitated by some independent women. If they weren't, it would be like, why do they? And I'm not saying this for all men, of course, because women can do it too, but men do it a lot. Why do men put women down when they want to do something or want to go outside in the world and to do something like, oh, you're too small, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that, but I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing that? Why is it the fact that you men say that, okay, we are and then no, it's not even that, it's the fact that you guys say that we don't do enough, but when we try to do enough, it's all of a sudden, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not allowed to do this or that. I'm so confused on what you guys want from us.
Can I respond to that, Fifth?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's because y'all don't do the job to get it done. Okay, that's why.
Mm-hmm. So why does that make you have the right to put us down because we are not doing the job?
I didn't say I put you. We
well,
didn't say
that's what I was getting at, because men will
okay,
usually
we're not
put
putting
women
you down. Okay. For the most part, y'all don't do the job to get the job done. When it comes to a job, we don't take it personal. We don't take it anything. We just do something and we're trying to get it done. Nothing more, nothing less. We're trying to finish the job. That's it. For the most part, and most women, when they start doing the job, guess what? They complain about what's going on about the job, how the job is going. This, da 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 da. Okay, you need to focus on getting the job done. Let's say, for instance, we're trying to build this building. Okay, we need to get this building done fast. We need to get this building done. We don't need no complaints or anything like that. We just need to get the job done.
When you say done, what do you mean by like how fast is done to you?
Completed, and everything. Doesn't
No,
matter.
like you said it's fast,
Complete.
But how fast? You're not explaining how fast.
Whatever the job requires. If they say it needs to be done at a certain amount of time, we're gonna try our best, put our bodies and lives on the line to get that job done, complete, obsolete, done, over with.
So if a woman is complaining and stuff like that, but still keeping up, would that be a problem?
We don't. Okay, first and foremost, most men will complain, but we're not gonna complain out loud. Y'all will shout to the days till y'all dead about it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying us women, as much as we complain, will we still get the job? And we are still getting the job done.
No, you're not. That's the problem. You're not doing it. You're not getting the job done. You're just complaining.
So we're just not doing anything. We're just sitting there complaining? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
You can't name one job that y'all actually can do and actually completed it. But
a lot of women are overtaking men in y'all dominated fields. So how are we complaining and not getting the work done?
Okay, what job are y'all taking over? You say
a lot
that
of women work at factories. You know, they working outside. You know, they also doing construction. They doing all that stuff.
No, they're not. They're not doing that at all. I don't know where you got that from, but if you looked outside, majority of the time when they working in factories,
I've actually seen it with my own eyes, so I know what I'm talking about.
And guess where I seen the women working at? They working at the low, costly, low level jobs. That's safe.
But we still putting in work. I'm so confused.
You're not putting in the major work, ma'am.
I feel like he's talking about Amazon because I heard Amazon is like a sweatshop. You work at the Amazon warehouse?
I worked there. I worked at all kinds of warehouses.
I could tell.
I worked at all kinds of
warehouses. Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't work at and not just there, just any place.
You're not wrong. I would hate to work at a warehouse. That actually sounds like hell on earth. So I 100% agree with you.
Even then, even if we're working at a call center, males are actually doing way more work than the women are.
How much more work can someone else be doing at a call center?
Okay, here goes the situation. We're working way more overtime.
Way. You choose to pick up extra shifts?
No, we choose to get the job done even faster.
Picking up overtime.
Okay, but what about this? Okay. How about a lot of the older men that can't walk or they can't move properly? What are they doing?
Even they will get out there.
No, they won't.
Yes, I've seen it. When I was a car,
I'm even going to argue to that point because there's no reward for suffering. So everything that you're saying, I mean, it's like congratulations, but there's no reward for suffering. If women can find an easier way to get things done, I say work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
So if you want to break your back at a warehouse, that's perfectly fine. And there definitely are some women that would do that. I just will not be doing that. So you're right.
You know what? I'm glad that came out. So I'm gonna go on mute. They said it.
Yeah, let me cut in. J Red, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was just waiting.
Yeah, no problem. So we got three new people: J Red, Jakayo, and Boss Man. So we're gonna go in this order. We're gonna go in this. Jakayo?
Yes, sir.
There we go. No problem, brother. All right, we're gonna go in order. J Red first, Jakayo second, Boss Man third. All right. Answer the topic: are men intimidated by independent women in the context of a relationship? All right. TikTok guidelines: watch your language, respect the host, respect each other. Go ahead.
Well, are men intimidated by independent women? Not in no way, shape, or form. Women always want to put a negative stipulation on a man for stuff we just don't like. In a relationship, you're not independent. So why are you acting independent in the context of a relationship? And then when you are single and independent and you're bragging about being independent, a man don't want a woman like that. A man wants to be needed. A man wants a woman that wants a man. So it's not intimidation. You know what I'm saying? A man, these women out here, oh, I'm I want to be in my soft girl area. You should always be in your soft girl area. You're a woman. You should be soft. You don't want no man saying, oh, I'm in my soft man era until I find a woman that's going to bring the masculinity out of me. That sounds retarded. So it's not intimidation at all. It's how ladies are wording things, and it's like nowadays women want to be men so bad, but they don't want what comes with being a man. Anytime they get what comes with being a man, they want to shout that they're a woman. So they want to be a man at convenience and a woman at convenience. And it's getting terrible. But I land my plane there.
Jaquel.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Are men intimidated by women pertaining to a relationship? Nah, absolutely not. Nah, well, actually, some men are, but I don't think those are the men that sit in the higher echelon of what men say men are and what men consider men to be. But nah, men aren't really just intimidated by a woman who makes a lot of money or, has a high spot in her at her job. I think independence is contradictory to a relationship, which is teamwork though. So I think it's counterproductive to what you guys are trying to do as a unit. But because I could have a lot of money. Men in most cases are breadwinners in their relationships. But if we went in our relationships and considered ourselves to be intimidated, considered ourselves to be independent, then it would be a problem, and it has been a problem. So I just think it's contradictory to being a unit. It's not helpful, that type of mindset. But if you are independent and if you were raised off of survival, that's fine. I say date lots of men, do what you want to do, ladies. Actually, what I say doesn't even fucking matter. Do what you want to do. It's just obvious that it's contradictory to building a unit, a team. I land.
Yo, what up, y'all? I'm gonna say hell yeah. I think a lot of men intimidated, and it's not that intimidated by what women and men think. Intimidated by, oh, she could take my job and work harder than me and do more push. They're intimidated by the risk of dealing with women. You know what I'm saying? And the standpoint of what I'm getting at is to say, investing. A lot of men ain't marrying women today. A lot of men are getting out on one knee saying, can I lead the way or whatever the hell it may be. A lot of men not making that risk anymore. And the fact that you're not making that risk, you're intimidated. I wouldn't call it as much as frightened. You just don't want to take the risk. And the risk is, there's a lot of women that don't know what they want. And what I mean by that means whatever you say you want, stand on what you want. That means from the beginning of time when you say, I want a man that leads and take over, control, whatever it may be in y'all head, that's what you're supposed to stick with to the end. But as y'all get more in depth, you start to change what you want. And that's why a lot of y'all file for divorce. Y'all say he the greatest protector, greatest provider, but he's not a good husband. You know what I'm saying? That's what marriage was all about. And I think that's when y'all become intimidating for men, when the fact that you waited around your whole life waiting on somebody to save you. Somebody saves you, a man, and then you turn around and say, you know what? All that stuff you did for me, this not working out, and everything you did do for me, I go do that shit myself. A woman has the luxury of choosing two different people who they want to be in this world. You can be a person that sit around and wait on you, not in shining armor, or you can go out there and be independent. But the fact that you could jump ships when you want, a man don't have that luxury. A man ain't working hard. He just not he ain't shit man. So I'm gonna land with that. I just think that women have the luxury, and it's not a bad thing. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that's what women have that men don't.
She probably had a cash out trying to get an Uber. You not gonna take him trying to pick that?
What? Mr. Charles.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here.
Welcome back, brother. You already know the rules. I'm gonna have
Oh,
you
yeah.
just answer this. How you doing? Just answer the prompt, and you talk with everybody else. Or in the context of a relationship, are men intimidated by romantic relationship? That is to be exact. Are men intimidated by independent women? Go.
I don't think the man is intimidated. What it is, in my opinion, is the more money a woman makes, where she might not need the man financially, the lesser she listens to the man. And that's a masculine trait. That's what's unattractive. That's what pushes the man away. And see, men, we are controlling because we are the protectors. So if you can't control a person, of course you can't protect them. You know, like you control your kids because you want to protect them. So the women stop listening to you. So then they get out of control, and that's what's not attractive. So the men get it mixed up. It's when you're not attracted to her no more, you don't even want to be around her. So not that we're intimidated, just it's not sexy. You know, we're attracted to feminism. We like feminine acting women. If a woman acts feminine with you, she can get anything she wants out of you because she's in her feminine aura. But when they get outside that picture and start acting like us, that's not attractive. I'm gonna land right there.
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say two things about what I heard. One is how I forgot who said it, that wants us to be wants us to be more in our soft girl arc. It's hard to be in our soft girl arc when men, and I'm not saying for all men, when some men makes it hard for us to get in our soft girl arcs. It's kind of like a flight or flight situation, because once we in that soft girl arc, we give you all of our trust, and if you betrayed that trust even the slightest, we gonna be hurt real bad, and no female wants to go through that. So it's hard to get in our soft girl arcs when it's hard, when it's like, is this man gonna hurt me? Is he gonna, like, we think a lot. We think a lot from experience, and we think a lot from how things are gonna go. We already have plans in our heads to know what we're going to do next. So again, it's hard for us to jump in a soft girl arc and give you guys all of our trust when sometimes it's hard. Like, it's sometimes it doesn't work like that. Another thing is when you said a female needs to be controlled. I don't understand that. I don't, like, can you explain more about, like, when a female needs to be controlled? What do they need to be controlled about?
So what I mean by that is most women, they have a childlike mindset. So if your 16-year-old daughter came out the house, you know, showing her body, this and that, because she going to some party, and you say, no, go upstairs and change your clothes. That's controlling her because you want to protect her from all type of bad things that might happen to her. So if my woman come down there and says she's going to a party, and I think that she shouldn't wear that, and I'm going to say, hey, sweetheart, you think you should wear something a little more appropriate? So that protects me from having to come outside because some guy done said something wrong to her, or put their hands on her because he's some type of predator, but she shouldn't have been wearing that anyway. So I'm protecting her, and I'm protecting myself.
What?
It's control under the guise of protection.
Like, you're not understanding that.
I just think when y'all put
Hey,
that,
let him land. Let him land. He was almost done.
By you not understanding that, and your mental, because you don't think like a man, because you're not a protector, you don't understand it. I'm gonna land right there.
The only reason why I call
I just think when y'all put that S on guys, like, not all men have the same mindset on that. A lot of men aren't looking at it that way. Me personally, I think a lot of men have the right intention when explaining this. I think they have the wrong examples when articulating what exactly the issue is. Like, a lot of women may or may not understand where he's coming from, but I don't know. I feel like the wrong example in the wrong way can be articulated, can be twisted in a way where it becomes misunderstood.
And I think the only reason why I generally despise that example is because it's control disguised as protection. Because a lot of times y'all will meet these women dressed like that. And then instead of dating women that don't do the things that you quote unquote don't like, you would find the woman that does that. Like, y'all will meet a woman in the club dressed like that. And then when you get with her, then you try to change her. And you don't realize, like, is it a punishment kink? Like, why would you want to get with someone that doesn't align with what you believe, and then you want to then change the person after the fact and then get surprised when they continue to do the things that they did when you met them. That's the problem. There are a lot of women who don't go to the club. There are a lot of women who don't feel the need to, who go to the club and don't feel the need to dress like that. That's their prerogative. Don't find somebody who is like a quote unquote baddie and then try to tone her down and then be surprised when you're met with discourse. You did that to yourself because you weren't vetting appropriately. Trying to change how your woman dresses should not be a conversation in a relationship. Honestly, that's something you should have
I mean, and I
peeped
agree.
beforehand.
I agree.
Women in the club.
I agree with you.
Who does that?
I mean, I
There's
agree
some
with
men
her.
who do
It doesn't
that.
have to be the club.
Well,
It
talk
It
doesn't
could
have
be
to
how
be
she
the
presents
club.
herself
It
on
could be.
social media, how she presents herself.
Let me
Like, you
meet
should be
some
vetting
women.
appropriately. These should
And
not be conversations you should be having within a
Who
relationship.
meets
You should have
women
peeped that
in the
already.
club?
You're
but
grasping at
well, we know
straws
we
Hey,
here,
know
yo,
what
hold
she's
taking
on,
talking.
hold
We
on,
know
hold
what
everything
on,
she's
hold on,
talking
literal.
hold
about.
on, hold on, yo, hold on, yo, hold on, yo. I gotta bring somebody in. Big Purr, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, we need a married woman's perspective. I know that you're married. No disrespect to any
No, I'll be
ladies on the
married
panel.
October 18th. I'll be married
Oh,
October
oh,
18th.
okay, cool. But you can still give your perspective
Oh,
because you've
yes,
been in a
sir. Yes,
relationship for a
sir.
long time. So, in when it comes to a relationship, right? This is the context. Are
hmm
men intimidated by independent women? Go ahead.
I would say no. And I mean, if you open up your eyeballs, if you open up your eyes, you will see, men, they date independent women. And I mean, a man doesn't care about what's in a woman's pockets. He just doesn't. Men date broke women every single day. 6-figure men date broke women every single day. It's a fact. You know, I don't, I wouldn't. I mean, the thing about a so-called independent woman, right?
What you said they were trying to do? They was trying to get to the 159th Street.
The thing
You
about
talking
an
about a
independent
bad?
woman is that
No.
independent women, when they feel like they're independent, they feel as though they don't need a man or they don't have to listen to a man. And that's very unfortunate because independent women a lot of times don't even get married, and when they are married, their men aren't happy. But no, I wouldn't say, oh, he's intimidated by me because I'm a nurse, or I make 6 figures, or I make this and I make that. And it's just crazy to me. And I land there because I do have a lot to say, and a lot of people I want to address.
I feel like if you're talking about dating broke women, the prompt then wouldn't really apply. Because if a man is making more than the women, then of course he's not going to be intimidated. But as someone who has dated down, quote unquote, financially, some men do genuinely have an issue with it. Even without you really saying anything, you see it in the way in which they speak. And again, I'm not knocking the fact that they're making less. That's not the argument. The problem is they're dissatisfied with the fact that they're making less because they're not happy with themselves. They then project that dissatisfaction onto you. That's what it is with intimidation. Now, if someone is throwing their money in their face, or if someone is belittling their partner by saying, oh, I don't have to do this, because I'm making more, that's a different conversation. But there generally are some men that are not happy with themselves, and therefore they project it onto the closest person, which is usually going to be a partner or a spouse.
I mean,
That's
I
true.
wouldn't. I wouldn't
agree.
Real
understand.
quick. Hold on. Mama made a statement, and I need to address. Mama, I'm gonna ask you something. You can
Okay.
answer it, yes or no. But you said dating down. I know what that means. I've seen the news report. So when women date a man that makes less money than them, why is it now called dating down? Because for centuries, men have been dating women, like Big Purr said, who don't even
Mhm.
have employment. We didn't call that dating down.
So that's why I
So
said
why?
quote unquote. And obviously you couldn't physically see me, but I was putting it in quotes because I'm saying dating down financially in the sense that objectively I made more than him. That's not an arguing point. It's subjective. But that's why I said quote unquote dating down financially. I'm not because someone could bring a lot more to the table than just the money. They can have great character, they can have great morals, whatever the case is. If that's what you choose to date, that's what you choose to date. I'm not knocking that, but that's why I said financially, because that's an objective point.
So would you marry a man who has a lower income than you?
I've dated men that financially were making less than me.
No,
So
would you
I don't
marry?
have
Would you
a,
marry?
I wouldn't mind necessarily, but they still have to have something going for themselves. Like it can't be like you still have to have something going for yourself. If I'm making like 100 and you're making 75, cool. But if you're making like 20 or 30, that's a high school salary. I'm sorry, I can't, because I like to take trips. I like to enjoy life. And if you can't live that, nah, I'm sorry, I can't do it. But I'm not gonna be making 95 and you're making 85 and I'm like, oh my God, you're making less than me. Absolutely not. No.
Okay, so let's get realistic, right? So for those who are quoting stats without sources, I have a stat, and that is the average person, the average man and woman, the average man salary ranks from 50. Sorry, I think it's now 55 to 60K a year, right? For women, it's about a good $4,000 difference on average, right? So my question is this: realistically, and I assume that you're a woman who's at least in her, can I say you're in your mid to late 20s at
I'm
least?
27. Yeah.
Okay. So realistically, at your age, the man that you're going to encounter, for the most part, is not going to make $25,000 a year. Let's just be real.
Right.
Okay. So most people are have average earning salaries according to the city that they live in. So for the most part, as you're not going to date some. Yo, that was crazy. Yo, Charles, I rock with you, but you came off mute to do that. That's crazy. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so here's the thing about the whole dating down thing, right? Like Big Purr mentioned, she said that plenty of men have done this, and I will give this to women. There are women who, just like the movie Baby Boy, are living with Jodies right now. Okay, but for the most part, when I know a lot of women, they will say that they do not want a man who makes less money than them, because women are taught to be hypergamous, okay, to date up financially out of their financial class, social class, right? So what's your response to that, Mama? I'm gonna let the panel talk about it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't disagree with it. I really don't. But I feel like that's why we have to remember that choice is a beautiful thing and nobody's a monolith. So if a woman wants to date up, I don't see anything wrong with that. And if a woman chooses to be with somebody that, she's making neck and neck or maybe a little bit more than, then that's her prerogative. It is what it is, I was raised to date up. I was raised to find a man that has, something going for himself, because I have something going for myself. So my goal ideally is to stack up. So of course I'm going to find someone. He doesn't have to be, like million. No, of course not. Like that's unrealistic, like with the stats that you just said, but I'm not going to date someone that doesn't have something going for themselves. I absolutely refuse to. Because again, like I said earlier, there's no prize for suffering, and I refuse to suffer. So
can I ask you a question? Okay, wait, hold on. I would like to say too that dating down, it's like you guys probably have not seen it, but since we are in a new generation, I see a lot of women, like, say for a fact, like sometimes I'll be going to the store and I see a lot of women pay for food or groceries while the man is standing right there, or the man is hugging up on her, kissing her while she's paying for like something that he needs, so it's kind of hard to say that us women will like find somebody that will go higher. It's like in this generation that we are living, it's like we're not even looking for the money. It's more of a like we're just dating to either look for sympathy or clarity in a way.
Well, hold on, Miss Cracky. We don't know those couples. That man could have just got done paying a mortgage, so she's paying the groceries. What's wrong with that?
Right. I'm like, what's she doing?
So that may be the case maybe the case. True. But I also have friends, my peoples tell me that, yeah, I'm always having to pay for this, pay for that, Like, because like my mama, I'm 20 years old, right? My mama taught me to always have a plan B, meaning that if the man is not providing the way that you need or want to, because I want to have kids in my future, right? If the man is not providing for the kids or the needs, always have a plan B. You work hard, you get more, make sure you make more money than him, but on the secret. But a lot of men don't like that. A lot of men don't like it when women hide money from them, because they
I don't think men care.
Miss Cracker, what are you even talking about? You're too young to know anything really about life yet. Just relax.
Facts.
You just
so
Facts.
it's the fact that I grew up really, really fast. So it's like I'm not talking about, I need to know life. I grew up in life. Like I don't understand what y'all saying.
You need a little more experience, little sis.
It's a new
Just
generation.
a little more experience. You'll see what we're talking about.
This is a new generation.
I mean, I just never heard of a man say, I feel some type of way. My girl make more than me, man. I feel some type of way. I've never heard that.
Right, because men
I say
aren't
it that
right
way.
because men we aren't in our circles. We aren't in our circles looking at each other saying, "Damn, man, my wife makes more than me or my girl makes." We not doing that. We
Right, we not
talking
doing
about other shit.
Yeah. We like when our girl get money. Get that money, baby.
Yeah, they think we in the corner rubbing our hands and conspiring, fellas. When we really be talking about football and other shit. It's just fantasy. You gotta, I don't mean this in
Jaquel,
a
you gotta chill
disrespectful
with
way.
that. You gotta chill with that S word, Jaquel.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's just fantasy. You gotta, just get out a little, live a little more, date a little more. You'll see what we're talking about. It's no big deal. We all had to grow up.
And real quick to Miss Cracky, at 20 years old, I got you, Big Purr. At 20 years old, y'all don't even make 40K yet. So there are things that you don't even have to worry about yet. That's a statistical fact.
I know, but I'm talking about what I seen from my perspective about the generation that we are living in now. Because I'm not gonna lie, I seen a lot of men say that, why, like, you guys, again, that's why I said in the beginning, you guys probably not have seen it. But I've seen men always complain about how women are making more money. Should women submit fully to a man, and let the man handle the money situation, or like handle the house bills, light bills, all that stuff. But it's like that's what I've just been seeing in my generation that I have been living in. And again, yes, I do have to have more experience, but at the end of the day, I'm not that far from being a grown adult in a way. So I'm just telling you guys from my perfect view and my perspective of it from this generation. Your generation probably was different from mine. That's what I'm saying.
Miss Cracky, I'm 30. I'm 38.
She's right.
So Mr. Yard, yeah, but I'm 38. So
Can I say something? Though? Can I say something?
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, because you've been waiting for a while. And Big Purr, we need you to speak, okay? Because you were trying to get in. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to speak up as a professional now. I work in that field for years. She's right. What happened in this generation is the young mothers that raise those kids and they become boys and they're not men. So what she's experienced, she's a fact, what she's saying.
Yeah,
but the men now are not men no more. It's a reverse of role where the men you see today, they act more feminine than the female now. That's her generation. That's studies. There's no man figure. All those boys that you see that grew up in that 1920, single homes, parents, mothers, raising boys. And a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man.
Boy,
so that's the generation. We live in that generation right now, and she's telling you what's the issue. Are we listening? Are we just yapping? Oh, she's too young? No, she's not. She's living it. She's living it, and she's telling us that this is what her generation's giving. Are we listening? What she's saying? I'm sitting
Miss,
back. I don't say much. I listen. I listen very well to everything, but always listen to what this young lady's saying.
Yeah, but you know what?
I land. Go ahead, Mr.
wait, before Charles goes, so let me get to the context of what Miss Cracky's saying, right? And my response to why she said what she said. Miss Cracky, I'm an 80s baby, okay? The 80s babies gave birth to your generation. There was a generation before me. So the things that you're talking about that you've learned of the generation that I'm in right now, and I have seen what it is that you're talking about because I am from that generation where, the crack era and all that. I'm from that generation. So that generation is before yours and ain't nothing new. True. I can attest to that as a man who's 38 years old. The reason why I mention the salary is because at 20 years old, your criteria is not going to be the same of somebody that's mama's age or somebody that's Big Purr's age. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know Big Purr's age because I didn't ask. But Big Purr comes off as mature. I could definitely hear in her voice, right, that she's somebody who's probably under my age, but not too far from me, right?
I'm 25.
So you're 25, Big Purr? Oh
Yes, I
wow,
am.
you're very mature 25. So, I understand. And think about it. You're 20, Big Purr's 25. Mama is 27. Y'all are the same era still. And then I'm 38. And what I'm saying is, I've seen that in my time too. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that there are things that people are overlooking when it comes to relationships. Mr. Yard, you mention this all the time. When people say money, 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 they disregard character. Character don't even come up in the conversation at all. Because I'm also part of, sadly, that may have come from my generation. Because it was all about what you can get and what you could have, as opposed to finding the real things that matter in a mate. Sadly. So that's my response to that, Mr. York, because I definitely heard what she's saying, and because I'm 38, I could definitely speak to what she's saying because I'm the time that is before her that is showing her bad examples. Sadly.
So it's the fact that when I see my generation and when an older generation, because I'm not gonna admit I am young. I am at the age I am young and I still got lots to learn. But at the same time, I growing up in a I'm saying people are telling me you should go out with some of these men, and then these men are saying, why haven't you paid the light bill yet? Why are all of a sudden women are the ones on the phone with the people that are paying the electric bill, the light bill, paying bills, paying rent? We are the it's I'm seeing a lot of that now, and I'm seeing more and more every single time. I'm seeing a lot of men complain in the household that the women have bought. And I'm not saying that men bought houses. Of course they have bought houses. True that. I won't lie, they have. But again, this is not y'all's generation, because you may have seen it a lot more than I have, but it's the fact that us women are trying to fight against it now, but it's hard for us to do that because it's all of a sudden once we try to fight back that hey, we are more independent and stuff like that, it's all of a sudden these boys, I'm going to say boys because they are not men, these boys try to bring us down to a point where we are weak. Oh, you guys need guidance. You guys are forced to have guidance. And it's not, and the clothing thing is it depends. Yes, it depends on what we wear, but at the same time, what we wear, it shouldn't matter. If a man is going to flirt with us, whether or not what we wear, it doesn't matter what we wear. We could have a sweater on, we could have sweats on, and a man would still flirt with the female. It doesn't matter what we wear. And that's what you see a lot in the generation that we live in now. It's we're going through it's a tough time for men and women. At the end of the day, it's this generation is really, really messed up. And us both humans are trying to fix it, but how can we fix things when we are still having these problems and it's still continuing and it's getting worse and worse and worse to a point where it's moving into the new generation and it's just going to get worse from there, you know?
Big Purr. Hey, before Charles speaks, I'm sorry. Big Purr been trying to speak, and I go ahead, Big Purr. Go ahead.
I will say what she is saying is correct. I agree. But this is what I did. I started dating men, you know, with father figures. You know, if you don't have no dad, and you know, I'm really young, just like she's really young. If you ain't had that structure in your life, you know, I don't want to talk to you, because nowadays, if you know, women raising these boys, you know, it's just crazy. So my man, you know, he has his father in his life, and he is a breath of fresh air. I can honestly say that. What I would do if I was you, again, you know, try to go to church, or you know, maybe a library or something like that, because I actually met my man at a library. You know, at the time he was a librarian, and it was just amazing. But what she is saying is correct. But I feel like, well, this is what I do. I talk to a lot of younger women, and I give out a lot of advice. And I actually have a organization for men as well. And there's a men group in my community. It's called Men Make Men Sharp, and I participate in that as well. But I have a organization for younger women who wants to, you know, learn how to, you know, be a woman, you know, learn certain things, you know, what to say, what not to say, how to dress, you know, how not to dress. But I feel like, you know, we need to, you know, teach these young people, you know, how to act, how to behave, and all that, because somebody that's 18, 19 years old isn't really going to listen to somebody that's in their 30s. I feel like because I'm closer to their age, they'll, you know, listen to me more because I'm closer to their age. It's weird, but, you know, that's just how they think. It's very confusing, you know, dealing with them, because, you know, I get little girls, 18, 19, 16, 17, come in. Miss Reed, let me tell you what happened at school today, Miss Reed. This teacher pissed me out. Hold on, wait. Let's from 10 to 2. What happened? You know, they tell me what happened. You know, I tell them where they was wrong. You know, take accountability. And it's just, you know, a good thing I've been able to help, you know, kids who have been making D's and F's go to like C's and B's. So I just feel like, you know, us as younger people who understand need to talk to these teenagers, and I feel like they'll listen, and I land there.
Like this generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, really, really big on tone. And I think sometimes, like this panel is one of the more respectable ones, but there's some panels that I'll hop into and you have grown men cursing at these women, calling them low value. This generation doesn't receive information like that. So the older generations might have been cool with the tone and the feel like harshness builds power, or whatever the case is, character. But a lot of this generation is very, very big on how you speak to them. So personally, if I need guidance, my mother doesn't talk to me like that. My father doesn't talk to me like that. So I'm not going to let a random person on TikTok try to undermine me, curse at me, yell at me. Most people, at least this generation and younger, don't really receive guidance that way. So I do agree with what she was saying about a lot of times when you're talking to someone more closer in age, you have a better chance of actually getting some type of result from them. But cursing at them, yelling at them, calling them low value, telling them that, you know, no one receives guidance that way, to me, at least.
All right, Charles, go ahead, and then I got to get to Braveheart and GP Healing. Go ahead, Charles.
I just want to make it real brief. First, I want to apologize for that. I thought I had my phone muted, doing something in traffic, man. My fault. Right. I said, shut up. Okay, so what the young lady was saying about, you know, if y'all notice, like this young society, I mean, like sexually, they got all these pills being advertised. You know, the generation is kind of messed up. You know what I mean? However, you can't just say well, it don't matter how we dress. Oh, it plays a part in how you dress. You have to dress appropriately. You know, like you see young women around with the bottom, cheeks hanging out, and then expect the man to address them properly. That's not gonna happen. So you have to wear appropriate wear to be treated how you want to be treated. Of course, a guy gonna holler, yeah, but don't let him see, think that you something that you're not. You know what I mean? And if a person calls you, like, especially on TikTok, like low value, most of the time what they're saying is low value thinking. You could have low value thinking. You can think low value. Emotional intelligence is what it's about. And with most women, sometimes, because y'all emotional, you have to think, like, before you say something, think about what you're saying. Contemplate it. Does it make sense or does it not make sense? Because men, we think more, in the natural, like, we don't illusion stuff. We think reality. Women kind of think sometimes in fairy tale. Want that fairy tale relationship, that fairy tale guy. No. Think about that. She's not gonna get it. I'm gonna land my plane right there. I got something to do. Hey, I'm gonna check you out later. I gotta go take
Thank
care
you.
of stuff.
Hey,
Thank you,
host,
brother.
before,
I appreciate you. Miss
Yes, sir.
Cracky,
wait,
before
Yes, sir.
after these two, can I say something?
yes, you can, Miss Cracky.
Okay.
Hey, Braveheart, welcome back.
How you doing, Fifth?
I'm good, Braveheart. Thank you for coming by. Before you
Thanks
get
for
into the
having me.
conversation, no problem. After you, I'm gonna get the GP healing. So, the prompt is: are men intimidated by independent women? Go ahead.
I don't think that men are really intimidated by. They're not intimidated by independent women. What I think it is that, like one of the young ladies said, is that some of us have learned to be independent just because of our situations and the things that we've come from. Respect, honor, and teamwork is something that's supposed to be part of a relationship. And if we aren't taught that growing up, we're not going to have that going forward. So in order to get what we are looking for, we have to be mindful where we are looking. So that's the biggest thing for me. Like I've heard a lot of the arguments here in the panel, and there's no solutions. And the reason why there's no solutions is because nobody wants to submit, and that is a big part of all of this. If you feel intimidated by a woman who makes more than you, that's not something that we can fix, and vice versa. We have to learn to come together and be partners. When do we start competing against each other? We chose each other. And how can two walk together unless they are agreed? So if we're complaining about the other person, we chose that person. Why did we choose that person? We have to start looking inward instead of outward. We're always looking for somebody to blame. And the thing is that we are the main, like every time we have an issue, we're the main, how do you say it? The main person in that issue. If you're the main person in your issue, you got to start looking at yourself and why you are choosing these things. Too many people are getting hurt out here. You know what I mean? And we're hurting each other for no reason because we just can't have these conversations from the get-go, laying it all on the table. This is what I want. This is what I want. You know what I mean? We can't be pointing the finger back and forth. This is why we come against each other. It's not a competition. When you go into a relationship, it's a service ship. How can I serve you? Not how can you serve me? What do I bring to this situation? How can I encourage my partner? How can I stand there in the gaps for my partner? How can I pray for my partner? I'm a woman of God. How can I be there for this person when they're going through hard times? Now it's more like, well, what can that person do for me? What can I get from that person? Do they have enough money? Do they have a nice car? We are not looking at the things that we need to look at. And that's why we're getting to these spaces that we're getting to. This is not uncommon. That this has been going on for years, and I'm an 80s baby as well. I was in 83. It took a long time for me to come out of I didn't always respect and honor men, but I had to look at myself and I had to take accountability. That was the biggest thing. And a lot of us don't want to take that accountability, and we need to heal from these relationships that we go into because we're only going to take it to another space, another place. It's always going to follow you no matter what it is. We have to break these cycles. And we're not going to do it by coming up against each other and continually berating one another. We have to work together. And I'm done.
Hey, Braveheart, I'm gonna come back to you because you said something in the comments. But I'll back to you in a second. GP Healing, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
No problem. Thank you, GP Healing. You're new here, so I just gotta announce the rules, okay?
Okay.
So no foul language. Respect the host. Respect each other. And if you disagree with something, it's okay to disagree, just respectfully, okay? All right,
Okay.
we're gonna answer the topic first, and then Miss Cracky wanted to go because she's been waiting. So the question is: are men? This is in the context of a relationship, right?
Mhm.
Are men intimidated by independent women? Go ahead.
I do not think men are intimidated by independent women. I think that a lot of things, outside sources, terribly influenced opinions, are factoring into a lot of relationship buildings. And if we stop allowing all of those things that kind of put in roadblocks from getting to build a relationship, if we stop allowing those things to factor in getting to know someone, I think we'd be better off as we're getting to know each other in relationships. Starting out with just the basics, the respect, treating someone like you want to be treated, having that transparency, being open and honest with each other. And as Braveheart said earlier, trying to understand how you can best serve each other, what the two of you working together looks like in the trajectory of your relationship. Where do you want to go? What things do you want to build on? You got things that you want to build on and ways that you want to grow personally, as a couple, and as a family. And if you really focus on how you go about doing those things and how you treat each other as you're going down that plight, as opposed to saying, whose fault is this, who's the big breadwinner, the boss. There shouldn't be a blueprint that everyone should follow. Each individual couple should develop their own path, their own way of how they want to succeed, and support each other in that effort. I think there's, like Braveheart said, there's too many instances where you see each other attacking each other, not listening, degrading. Some of the most disrespectful, demeaning conversations go on a lot of times. And we have to understand there are a lot of eyes on us, and how we are representing ourselves is a reflection of how people view us, stereotype us, and class us based on a lot of things that we display. And I think that if we start being more cognizant of that and how we treat each other, I think we'll alleviate a lot of these conversations. And I'll land there.
Miss
I
Cracky, go
want,
ahead.
yeah, I want to say, like what I hear is like, these relationships, like they have to work out, right? But it's hard. It's when I say it's hard to work a relationship, especially when you guys are both young, right? It's hard to agree with something when you guys are when we are both so young, and it's like we want to agree with something, but we just keep arguing because one of us wants to be right. One of us has to be above the other, and it sucks. It sucks really bad. I wish, like, because what I'm hearing, I wish like I was born back then to see like how that was for you guys and how calming it was. It's so hard to like agree with something with your partner and something like that. And when we talk about loyalty, that is like, I think that's the most top thing that we struggle on in this generation, loyalty. And then the second is accountability. No, I have not seen, well, I have seen some, right? I have seen some couples both take accountability for doing something wrong. And I have seen a lot more argue. Well, you did this wrong. Well, you made me do this and stuff like that. And going from both sides. So it's hard to like agree upon that when I haven't myself experienced that yet. And not only that, like finding a man in a library, finding a man in the church is also hard too, because why do I have to find these men in specific areas to have a love life of my own, to build a family of my own? But how can I build a family of my own when I'm just still trying to grow up? There's like in this generation now, babies are starting to have babies, so we don't understand what it means to be all of these things when we are still trying to figure out in life what we are doing, like what we are trying to accomplish. We don't even know what we're trying to accomplish because we are not old enough to know what we are trying to accomplish. We are not old enough to know what we are doing, like what we are doing wrong and what you guys are trying to tell us. We are going by what you guys are showing us and telling us. We are the eyes that you guys are that we are looking from. We are watching you guys now. We are watching the older people now because we don't know who to turn to anymore. We can't turn to ourselves because if we turn to ourselves, it would be a wreck. So we turn to you guys. And the more that we turn to you guys, it's like it teaches us guidance, yes, but it has bumps and bruises along the way. A lot of bumps and bruises, because when men says control, women thinks that, oh, you got to do this or you got to do that in the most aggressive way in our generation now. When a woman says, I'm leaving you, that means the man will probably think this woman is about to go cheat on me. This woman's about to go mess up my life and stuff like that. That's the generation that we are living now. And it sucks real bad because a lot of people like us look up to a lot of people like you guys, and we are begging for you guys to help us, to guide us. But it's hard for us because you guys tell us, well, we're so young, we'll figure it out one day. You guys will find out when you guys grow up. And once we do grow up to a point, it's either that we are so scribbled up in our heads that we don't know what to do, and it will explode. Oh, I'm a land.
I can't even, like, I literally have no words because you're not really wrong. Like, dating in this generation is a major shift. I'm pretty sure cheating and infidelity has definitely been a thing forever, but now the access that people have, or the way cheating is so easy right now, finding somebody else is literally at the tip of your fingertips. And a lot of people in this generation, speaking specifically about men, they do lack sexual discipline. So it's like, even whenever you do try to quote unquote do things by the book, vet appropriately, settle down, get married, then have the kids, do all that, you still run the risk of your partner stepping out in that marriage when you're pregnant, when you're vulnerable. So I don't know if you believe in God, but the only solution really is just to leave it to God, because at the end of the day, physically, it's out of our hands. Like, you can do everything right, vet appropriately as you can, but unfortunately, that's just the cards of the game. I agree with Princess in the comments, though. I do think at your age, if I were you, I would just focus on myself. And I'm not saying that doesn't mean that you can't date, but I would focus on stacking up, going to school, getting a degree, locking in, whatever the case is. And then if you meet somebody along the way, great. My vetting process has changed literally so much between the ages of 20 and 25. It's insane, When I think as you age, hopefully we should get wiser and we should get wiser. But everything that you're saying it's not necessarily wrong, but that's just the way of the world, unfortunately, and it's what it is, So
Yeah,
it's disheartening. But yeah, we really are cooked. Like, it's grits out here. It really is.
I'm not judging how we live in life, because of course that's how life is. It's like a famous word saying, and everybody can agree that life will not give you cupcakes and rainbows whatsoever, at all. Right? But at the same time, it's like life shouldn't be so, when it comes to love, it shouldn't be as tough because we make it, you know what I'm saying? Like, say for a fact, if a couple gets in an argument, one is so quick to leave, one is not quick to like sit down, hey baby, let's talk about this. Why are we so upset? We will yell, we will throw things, we will break things, we'll break each other's hearts, and we'll break each other's soul. And the only thing that we can either turn to is the people that can help us now. God definitely can help us. Yes, we'll leave it in the hands of God, most definitely. I do believe in God. I do. I am a believer. But sometimes I have to turn to a somebody that's way older than me, like a family member, like, hey, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing this? And they're like, and instead of saying you're not doing this correctly, I get you're not doing this enough. You need to try better at this. Maybe you need to switch. Like, it's so hard to switch to somebody that can help me, that I'm reaching my hands out for, praying to help, because God is in everybody. And when how I look at it, like my mom and my family, like I don't look at them as gods, but I look at them as my angels. And if my angels are like, my angels are not helping me, and I need my angels to help me, to guide me through so I can make it.
Hey, Cracky, can I say something, sweetheart?
Yeah, just call me Missy.
Missy?
Yes.
I have 2 daughters that are close to your age, and my heart goes out to you because we have some of the same conversations that you are having right now, because they've expressed the same disappointments and frustrations with dating and relationships that you are expressing now. And I'm going to tell you what I tell them. There is nothing wrong with not being okay. We all have those moments that we are just not okay. Now, what we can do is take the necessary steps, like talking to somebody, seeking therapy if necessary, but having some reliable resource that we could go to. Because whenever my girls need to vent and talk these things out, yeah, we're going to FaceTime, because they need to see the expression on my face most of the time. They just want to look at me as I'm saying whatever I'm saying to them, because I think they need to know that there's nothing wrong with you. It is not your fault. It's just the world that we live in.
It's evil.
And all of this stuff that keeps happening is going to keep happening, but you have some tools that you can equip yourself with to protect yourself and shield yourself from as much of that crap as possible and still maintain your sanity. It can be done. You just have to know the steps to take. And once you are cognizant of that, like learning, whenever I'm in this type of environment, these things happen. A lesson in that is to remove yourself from that environment, because that's not your space. Whenever I'm around this type of person, it makes me feel in this negative way. Guess what? Answer is remove yourself from that person, because that person is not beneficial to your mental health, to your spiritual growth, your spiritual health. So it's like making tough decisions, but those tough decisions will protect you. I know the men were saying earlier about they'll try to tell a woman how to dress. That's their way of saying, hey, there's a probability if you dress in a certain way that you can expose yourself to those people that you're trying to remove yourself from, and they can take advantage of you. Now, that's just one of the probabilities. There are other probabilities too. It is not your fault. It's not saying that if you do these things, it's going to ensure that won't happen. That's not the case. It just lessens the probability of it happening. So it's just a lot of things that you got to kind of weigh out and balance as you're making these decisions, navigating through life, that will put you in a better situation than what you're in right now. You're not going to figure it out overnight. Nope. You're going to bump your head up against the wall a lot of times. Trust me. These are going to be, but the thing that you need to focus on in each experience is, what did you learn?
Yep.
How can you do better next time? How can you prevent putting yourself in a situation for those things to ever happen to you again? That's growth. That's self-awareness. That's
Amen.
self-acknowledgement. And that's taking accountability for the things that you have done in your life or the choices that you've made in your life that would lead you in a path or a direction you do not want to go in, or you do not want to end up there, right? So it's all a part of growing up. Trust me, they call them growing pains for a reason.
I was
It
just gonna say
hurts.
that.
It hurts, right, babe? It hurts. I'm telling you. But you're going to reach a point where you get to this epiphany and you have this awareness, just like, golly, I thought I wasn't going to survive that. But I learned so much. Now I know I'm not going to tolerate this type of stuff, because I'm not going to put myself in the environments that breed these type of things.
Come
I'm
on.
going to surround myself with people that encourage me, that promote me, that
Yes.
build my self-esteem, that keep me on the right track. And that's exactly what you have to start doing. That right there, and I'll land there.
Mm-hmm.
Missy, I just want to apologize to you for the people that came before, that you're turning to, the elders, and the wisdom that you're looking for. And I just want to apologize, that because I feel as though you've been let down, in the places that you've, and anybody on this panel, I want to apologize to, because we do need to do better as an older generation, and start speaking into you guys and pouring into you guys more. You know, we live in a society where if it's broken, we replace it. We don't work on it. You know what I mean? People treat each other like commodities. We put ourselves in places and spaces that we're not ready for. And a lot of that has to do with identity. And that's why going to God, and you said that you believe, going to God for that identity is crucial, because you don't know who you are or who you're going to become until you come before him. And that's when we stop making those decisions, because he guards our hearts and he directs our paths, and he speaks to us and tells us where we're supposed to go and where we're not supposed to go. Man, I can't even tell you how many mistakes I've made in life, and how stupid I felt, and what a failure I felt like. I mean, we all go through that. Okay. What I want to encourage you to do is just keep standing. Keep pushing, keep going. You are a strong woman. I could hear it in your voice. I can hear it. You've been through pain, you've seen pain, and you're afraid of that ripple effect happening in your life. And that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I hear the Lord saying right now, that is not going to happen. That is not your portion. I'm telling you right now that's not what's for you. That's why you are here on this panel today, for the women, grown women, not women that have been hurt and haven't healed, but grown women who have walked through the healing, walked through that pain, and took accountability and did the work with the Lord. And he healed us. You're talking to women that are willing to pour into you. You cannot operate from an empty vessel. You cannot go and pour into other people or do the things that you need to do if you are not being poured into. So that's my main thing. I apologize for the people who let you down, for the people who have failed you. But your portion is not to repeat the same mistakes. Keep going. You're going to fail, but you're going to fail forward. You're going to fail forward. And God has you. I promise you.
I kind of realized that, not me like now, but like kind of growing up, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been through emotional abuse. I've been through abuse all, like, growing up. I've been in a loud house before. I seen it with my eyes. I seen a lot of things with my eyes that I shouldn't have growing up, right? And the amount of times that I turned to God and I asked him, why is he punishing me for this? Why is he doing this to me? Why am I having to go through all of this stuff? And like, I hear from different people that you're doing something wrong, or you're not doing it right, or it's like God is telling you something, but you're not really hearing it. And that's what makes me upset at God, because it's like, why are you not giving me a sign when I'm doing everything right? I talk to a therapist, right? But it's hard to talk to a therapist, because you know what a therapist will do? give you
It's a copy
medication.
paste. It
Yes.
sounds all like pre-written
Yes.
out and scripted.
They will send
Right.
you, hey, you should get some meds. I'll put you on these meds. I don't want meds. I need guidance from somebody, something. It doesn't matter. My mother, from somebody else. If I can't get it from my family, I will try to get it from somebody else. But I don't want medication to numb these emotions that I'm supposed to be feeling that God gave to me.
Well, can I speak into that?
Yeah, go ahead.
God is not making you suffer, sweetie. He's not. He's not. He's right there with you. But sometimes our pain is so loud, and the voices outside of ourselves that we're going to are so loud that he can't speak to us. God is not loud. He's quiet, and he needs you to get into the space and actually give him your heart so he can work on it. He's not mad at you, and he's not making you suffer. We live in an evil world, and he wants to heal your heart. He wants to heal your heart. He's right there with you right now. He is right there with you right now. And the thing is that all of this stuff that you're going through was already predestined, preordained. You're going through it for a reason. I used to have the same mind. I used to sit there and be like, Lord, why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me suffer? Why are you making me go through this? Like, why would you put me in this life if this is what it was? And those are common human questions. It doesn't mean that you don't have any faith. It doesn't mean none of that. You're not doing it wrong, sweetheart. You're not. I promise you. You're not doing it wrong. You can't do it wrong. You can't. Everybody has a different path. And what I learned is what I suffered through is what I'm called to. And it don't feel good. It don't feel good, but we're all going to suffer. But I'd rather suffer with Christ to be able to lead other people out of that darkness that they're going through.
Yeah.
Honestly. So if we're suffering, everybody suffers. But it's better to suffer with Christ than without him. So keep reaching out to him. Give him your whole heart. Cry out to him. I know you're scared. That's the biggest thing. It was hard for me to give God my heart because people trampled on it. I didn't want to give it out to anybody. But the Lord gently told me, he said, give it to me so I can heal it. There's years of stuff going on in you. There's years of pain going on in you that you need to release and he wants to take from you. You don't need to carry that. You were not built to carry that. In Jeremiah 1:5, he says, I knew you before you were formed in the womb. He knows what he has for you. Just keep going. Keep going. You're going to see him. If you put everything in God's hands, you will see God's hands in everything. That is the best advice that I can give you. And that is the advice that's going to work. And I promise you. But do not listen to those negative, condemning voices that are in your head telling you that you are a failure, that you're doing it wrong, that God's mad at you, that he's making you suffer. That is the enemy. Okay? That is not God. God does not cause you to have condemnation or hatred or anything. Nothing bad can come from Christ.
I have a question. Wait. I'm sorry, Chet. I have a very I don't know if it's weird or not, but if we are supposed to love God and follow him, why do we have to fear him?
Fear is not fear. Right.
There's
not fear being afraid.
It's not reverence. It's respect.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Like how you respect your parents, that kind of thing.
But I don't fear them. They don't make me fear him. I've seen a lot of people say that if you descend and you meet God, the first thing you're going to feel is fear. You're going to feel this overload of not scared, but just fear of a lot of pressure. And that is a good thing. But how can it be a good thing when he's supposed to be helping us? Why are we fearing something that is supposed to be helping us?
Because, sweetheart, being in the ministry of deliverance, I can tell you that it's not you who's scared. It's what's attached to you that is scared. That he wants to pull out of you. Okay? So there's things that attach to us along the way in this life. And this is why I say we have to heal and we have to get deliverance, because of the simple fact that as we go through life, there are demonic entities that attach to our lives, attached to bad emotions, trauma, and things like that, and offer false protection. And when God calls you to him, that fear is not fear of him, because he's total love. He's sovereign. That's why a lot of people feel like it's overwhelming. But he's trying to pull those things off of you. He's trying to remove those things from you. So it's not you who fears. It's what's been attaching to you that fears him.
Yeah.
Missy.
Go ahead.
Missy.
Yes.
Mrs.
Yes,
George,
sir.
how are you? Don't call me sir. You don't have to call me sir. I know the respect, but no. Listen, when you came on the platform, I said, okay. I said, all right. And I heard you spoke. I said, okay. What did I say? I said, anyone listening?
Yes.
I heard you. But sometime, what did I say? Sometime God have to, we integrate and grow together. But the environment for Yahweh, for the Most High God to come in to do His work, what He's doing now, the atmosphere have to be right. I put the atmosphere right. I said, oh, you're listening to this young girl. I said it 3 times. So these young ladies that you see here, young women of God, these are women of God that God sent here because, listen, I do podcasting, but it's not about me. If God is not on that platform, wherever I go, whatever it is, because that's my way maker. And if He's not there, I don't want no part of it. I sit back and I watch and I wait, but I know this platform is to serve.
I guess like it's just like I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time since I stepped in a church, right? The only reason why it's like my body, my mind, I can't step in it because if I step in the church, I'm immediately dropping to my knees.
Where's the
Right?
church?
Huh?
Where is the church?
Where's my church? I'm
No,
in
where is your church? The church is you, young girlie.
Right.
Church is
Just
you,
step
girl.
into the word.
The church is you. It's not a building. It's you. Listen. You see this? You see what we're speaking now? What we're using our tongue? Use it. Use it and create your future. Because God give us that power.
Yeah.
You hear what the word of God said? Man shall not live by bread alone, but every what?
Word.
Speak it. Speak it. I'm telling you. I'm not coming in here to boast about nothing. I am telling you, I'm speaking of experience, what I went through. And I know God worked. I don't care what no one said. You put your faith in Him. Listen, you're not going to have everybody there going to give you the answer. But I tell you one thing, He will never leave you. Talk to Him like you talk to us. Question God. You have an issue with God because you say, God, why you let this happen? Go talk to Him. No one going to satisfy that gap in your heart. I can't give it. I can only give you words, but God is a healer. You got to go to Him humbly, and He will give you everything that your heart desires. Trust me. That's all I have to say. I'll land.
It's like I started believing in God with at the age of I think maybe 16, right? Before then I couldn't believe in Him. Well, I couldn't. I just didn't. Right? The reason why is because life has been treating me so bad, and it was to a point where how can I believe in a man that's not even helping me, right? So I remember one night I was so mad at God. I was crying and I was like telling Him, God, why are you putting me through this situation? You're supposed to be my helper, my savior. And I went to bed and I dreamed of Him. I didn't like the reason why I'm asking why should we fear Him is because when I dreamed of Him, I wasn't at peace. I was fear, but it was like a calm fear, you know? Like I was talking to Him and I was just speaking the truth. I was speaking no lie. I wasn't allowed to lie,
So
right?
what happened?
um
What happened?
he just looked at me like it was like I couldn't see his face. I didn't know what he was looking at, but I knew that I was talking to him because I felt it in my heart. I felt it in my soul that I was talking to him, and I was really talking to him. I could see through his like and he told me to see through his eyes, see how I'm seeing you, like. And he told me to stand. He told me to keep praying. Your life is not an your life is nowhere near an end, my child. So you shall keep stepping until you can step no longer. Until then, you can step with me, beside me, and you can step aside these guardians, and then you can guide other people to step beside me, your Lord and your Savior. And I remember waking up because he told me to, this is your time to wake up, my child. And I woke up and I just started bawling my eyes out. I didn't know for what reason at all. Like I just felt so much, like it was just so much power hit all at once. And I just remembered, like, just started believing in him ever since that. No matter how hard things got, I always got on my knees and I just always asked him, why are you doing this to me? Why am I doing this? And I used to write too. I stopped writing because I'm autistic, so it's hard for me to write a lot of things. And when I write, other people likes to read my writing, but they can't read what I'm saying. But the things that I'm saying in my head is powerful to me, you know.
So record it.
Yeah. And
Record
keep
it.
writing it. Keep writing it
Keep
for
writing
you.
and record it. Keep writing and record. But also, do you still feel that connection with God today as you felt it back
Yeah,
then?
yeah. I had dreams on top of dreams. I had dreams of when I died. I had dreams of the world ending. It's so weird. Like it was
Sweetie,
like,
you got a prophetic gift. And
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to tell you
out,
something.
man. God
I'm
is
going to tell
good.
you
God is
something.
good.
Prophets go through a lot of suffering because the crushing is what reveals the oil. The crushing is to keep you humble. Remember how Paul talked about the thorn in his side?
Yeah.
yeah,
So when we go, because I am prophetic as well, and that's why I was speaking into you what I was speaking into you, and now you're reiterating it back. There's a reason why he's taking you through this, and he told you to stand. He told you to stand. So if he told you to stand, that means that he is protecting you. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be any pain, because even in his word, he says, in this world, we will face suffering, but take heart because I've overcome the world. Okay, people are not going to like us. We're going to get persecuted. We're going to walk in rooms as prophetic people or just people of God, and we're going to shake up rooms because there's demons there that they feel uncomfortable, you know. So you're going to get hard pressed on every side, but you don't give up. Stand. Do exactly what he told you. He's with you. He speaks to you through dreams, and sometimes you just, like right now, ask him out loud, Lord, why am I on this panel? And let him speak to you. What does he say?
these people will guide my way to
Lord,
greatness.
why am I the apple of your eye?
So my question is, if I have dreams of this, because I had one specific dream, right? One specific dream that I will never forget. You guys, I seen it, I heard it a lot of times, and now I had to experience it myself. Well, not really experience, because people may have experienced different, but I have been judged, right? I remember I was in a white room with me and my brother, and it felt like it was kind of weird. It was just, the feeling was kind of weird, right? And it was like I couldn't wake up. And then all of a sudden, there was a big screen of my memories just platted on the TV. Everything's that I'd done bad and stuff like that, and good. And so did my brother, right? And we both got judged. And in that moment, we had to wait a little bit. And it was like a sign, it was like, I don't, and again, I don't know if this is real or not because it was my dreams. It was a sign of if I'm going to heaven or hell, right? But my brother of course got to descend to heaven, but me, I had to stay. And I thought I was going to hell because I had to stay. But nothing happened. I wasn't going to hell nor heaven. I was just staying in that middle place. I walked, I remember walking with God before. I remember walking and talking with him. But I also experienced the bad too. I remember having, like, I remember I had experienced like a dream of me going to, like, in the process of me going to hell. And it was terrible, and I mean terrible. And when I woke up, I immediately just asked God to forgive me for my sins. Everything. Forgive me for everything that I have done. Because why are you giving me a dream of this? What is the reason? What do you want me to see? Is this my future? Why am I looking at this? Why are you showing me this? You know?
Crossroads. Usually if you stay, so this dream, the interpretation of this dream is that you're at a crossroads. God wants you to make a decision. He wants you to make a decision. Either you're going to go back to what hurt you, or you're going to come to him and let him heal you. Right now, that's the hour that we're in. We need to make a decision. We need to make a decision, and you're going forward with him, even though it feels like he may not be there, even though it feels like maybe he's not guiding you, but he is guiding you. He's guiding you, but he's showing you through your dreams where you're at in life. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hell. You're not going to hell. It's the valley of decision, like Yard Chat said. We all are in that process right now. If you look around, just on TikTok, if you look around, there's a lot of healing and deliverance going on in the kingdom of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
As evil abounds, so does heaven, so does light. You see a lot of revival right now going on. God wants to heal his children because we're getting close to the end. That's where you're at. You have to make a decision, and that's it. You know what I mean?
What
And then
decision am
follow.
I making? I don't like
So
that's
you're making the decision of whether you want to follow him or if you want to stay where you're at.
So is he showing me if I don't follow him, this is where my destiny will fall?
We all make a choice. He doesn't send us anywhere. We make the choice. We make the choice. God does not, hell was not made for us. That was made for Satan and all his demons. But we have a choice to make. And I know that it's hard. But if he's guiding you, I mean, I tell my daughter all this all the time. If there's one thing that I want her to know, is that I want her to know the voice of God, because I'm not always going to be there with her. Get in your word, start with John, and start washing your mind and renewing your mind with the word, and your heart will soften and he will start to heal you. Pray, cry out to him. He doesn't want he doesn't care what you say. He can handle it. He just wants to know how you truly feel so that he can come in and start shifting things in your life, start moving things around. He doesn't want you to be hurt. He doesn't, the enemy, he's not mad at you. He's mad for you, because we face an ancient enemy, and he wants to save you from that. It doesn't have to look perfect. We are not perfect. Only Jesus is perfect. But we have to move forward. We have to make the effort to heal with him. Don't heal by yourself. It's dangerous. Believe me, I know. I didn't give myself this name, Braveheart. It was prophesied to me. And that's because I deal with PTSD. I've been sexually molested. I've been abused all my life. I wound up in the system. I should not be alive. I should not have my mind. I should not be walking. I should not even be here having this conversation with you. But don't we serve a glorious God, that he delivers us from the darkness of ourselves and what the enemy tries to do to us when we're young to keep us separated from him. The enemy's a liar. God wants to heal and restore you and give you your identity. You are already who he said you are. Now you just got to walk into it. And he's going to walk right beside you. And he's going to lift a standard against the enemy that is trying to come against you. But you got to cry out, because he won't force you. He's a gentleman. He won't force you, but he's gently nudging you. And I know you can feel it. I know you can feel it. Follow him. I promise you, you won't regret it. He will not fumble your heart. He is not like man. He will take care of you. You are a daughter of God. You are a warrior. He wants to put you in your rightful place to come against the enemy that's come against you your whole entire life, so you can lead people out of those fires. Remember that. That's your assignment. Jesus suffered. We will suffer. Just thank God we ain't suffering like the way Jesus did. You know, we suffer with other things. But Jesus went to the cross to die for all of that stuff so that we could be free, so that we could speak to our Father freely. We are reconciled because of what Jesus did on the cross. Go to your Father. He wants to hear from you. He's been waiting to hear from you. He loves you. You are loved, child of God. You are loved, warrior. I am pouring into you right now. God loves you. He doesn't care if you're mad at him. The fact that you acknowledge him is what he's looking at. He's looking at your heart. He knows you're hurt. He knows things broke you. He wants to fix it so you can overcome it and come against the enemy that comes against you. I yield my mic.
Yeah, my fault. My throat's getting clogged. Not because of anything bad, but like very emotional thing. Yeah.
It's okay. Hey, Braveheart, and shout outs to GP who came up here. That was fantastic. I'm very sensitive to the things of God, and I know that when wisdom is spoken, you got to let it happen. And this is a teachable moment I see on every stream. Timing, everything is a teachable moment. Hey, Beyonda, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, brother, anything you want to say? I know you came on the panel. The topic is a topic, but right now, I was having the ladies talk to Missy and give their perspective while you were listening. Anything that you've heard being on here that you would like to share to Missy?
Oh, it was I listened to the whole talk about Jesus and all that stuff. Good timing, just me going through some personal stuff. Needed to hear that, about making a decision to follow him or not follow him. So that's pretty cool. Really good timing. Really put things in perspective for me personally. So thank you for Braveheart for saying all that wise, like all that wisdom. I appreciate it. I was initially intrigued by the prompts. Are men intimidated by independent women? And I guess my short answer would be no. Primarily because when a woman says she's independent, she's saying that to make a statement by saying she's independent of a man. So if I ever heard that from a woman, I just wouldn't bother getting to know her at all, because she's just at that point making a statement that she doesn't need a man or want a man or whatever. It's just, to me, it's a red flag if a woman's saying that off rip. Because if I were to say I'm an independent man, well, I'd be looked like that wouldn't make any sense. I would look stupid. But when women say it, it's a statement to say that, hey, I can be by myself. And if that's how she feels, then that's fine. She can be by herself. But it's usually something that doesn't need to be said, like being independent. Like if you're an adult and you're over the age of I would say 21, because you could be 21 living with your mom and dad, saving money, that's fine. But if you're on your own, then clearly you're independent. So if that's being said, that's, to me, it's a red flag. And I don't think men are intimidated by it. It's just a red flag for a lot of guys. I don't think guys are intimidated on average. I'm sure that there are some that could be intimidated, let's say, for example, if you're at a law firm and, you have a male and a female, battling for the top spot. I guess you can be intimidated by whoever you're competing against in that regard. But in regards to the dating marketplace, no, I don't think men are intimidated. I just think that when women have that mindset of, oh, hey, I'm independent, it comes with traits that aren't attractive to guys. So that's my opinion on that. I don't know if you guys agree with that or disagree.
Yeah, I could appreciate that response. So I want to say something to Missy real quick. Hey, Missy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So earlier I mentioned my generation, and I took accountability that there's a lot of us in our generation that have shown bad examples. Where I was getting at is that your generation is not as unique as maybe some would think. You know why? Because we were all once your age. We were all once your age, and we've had the complaint that you've had. We've had those same complaints about the generation that raised us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is something that all of us have gone through, because we feel that You know, the older generation messed us up. Um, their generation messed them up, and their older generation had messed them up. We've always pointed, fingers, and we've had a mix of good and bad in our generations. But I want to say one thing that I want you to always to remember, and that is this: elders are elders for a reason, and that is because they have ran the race that you're gonna run too. The one thing that we have to do is make sure that whatever roads and stumbling blocks that we've had, that we inform you, not scare you, but that we inform you what you may encounter or might not encounter. It's about preparation. It's what happens in the military. The generals and the soldiers who've been at previous battles and wars bring that same experience and guidance to the people to the soldiers, young soldiers who are coming in. It's all about a generation helping a generation, you know, and teaching them from our mistakes. But the one thing that we must stop doing is we got to make sure that our pain and our hurt is not pushed on the ones under us. And I myself will be held accountable for the things that I do and say, because I know that there are younger people under me that are looking at me, even at 38, you know. And so one of the things I want to say about this platform is that, conversations are conversations. Even if things get heated, I do keep an order because I do want to make sure we're still being adults and civilized. But there's always a moral to the story and a solution at the end that I always want to make sure is present. And I thank God for Braveheart for coming up here. And Beyond is a wise brother. I've had him on here, and he was very respectful. He's a good dude. I rock with Beyonder. But hey, it's your choice. But Missy, hey, you keep coming. You keep coming by here. We'll get you right. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not the kind of platform that pushes toxicity. I know a lot of lives on TikTok have a lot of battles because I know that's what brings the views. But at the end of the day, it's like, yo, people could come together, have respect for each other. Like, we're adults, you know what I'm saying? And we should be able to respect each other, love each other. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's a big deal here. To Braveheart, the scripture right before Jesus talks to the couples, he says, submit one to another, and he's talking about the kingdom. So in this sense, where the two or three agree, we will submit one to each other because the word of God was being spoken, and that's why Missy was brought up here because of that right there. So this was great timing, And Braveheart, I respect you 100%. I even reached out to you after the first time you came on here because I ignited you. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say that for Missy and for people who are listening to the platform. And shout out to this platform, man. Me and Mr. are believers. We're Bible believers, okay? We're of the Bible believing faith. So we definitely create that space of the Word of God being present, of God's presence, of the Word of God being spoken, and ministering the gospel. We do that. We have topics, of course, talk about everything, but we always want to make sure that it comes from a godly perspective. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to you, Pops Bird. Mr. Yarcha, anything you want to say?
Oh,
Go ahead, Missy. You got something to say?
oh yeah. I do gotta admit that y'all generation is very, very, very strong. Yes, yes. I will never put that past you guys. You guys been through a lot, a lot that our generation that has not seen or has not been through. Right? I won't do that. It's just the fact that the generation that you guys are having you guys you guys are, it's like you guys are telling us stuff, but it's coming from the trauma that you guys went through and not the things that we need to hear. Because of course, like, I'm not saying this for every single one of you guys, because I know that that's not your intentions at all, and I mean at all. But when I see from these, like, when I look at these panels, it's like, oh, does women body count matters? Oh, is it okay if your wife says no in bed? Oh, is it okay if your husband says no to everything and stuff like that? And it's mostly coming from their past trauma, because the famous words that I always hear, back in my old days, we never did this. Back in my old days, we had to do this. We were forced to do this. And I get that the generations before us is trying to toughen up our generation, but it's the fact that we don't need toughness, because toughness is what we got, and that toughness is turning aggressive. What we need is actual, like, we need that aggressive guidance that we just need, not the, hey, you need to shut your effing mouth and stuff like that. You need to sit down and listen. It's more of a like because my mama always used to be like, is that a godly thing to do? No, it's not. Please fix your tone, please, because you are talking to me and you are talking to God, and you don't want to disrespect God ever. So you shall apologize to me, and you shall fix it, and you shall do better. Like, my mom was always on top of things, right? But my father was different. My father was always so aggressive and stuff like that. I seen my father hit people. I seen my father hit on women. I seen my father do a lot of things. I seen so much. But my mother is calming. She believes in God, and she is the independent woman herself. The reason, and she is looking for a man, but to be honest, she tells me straight up she doesn't need a man, because she's been through all of this. She's been through, since she was a little girl, all this through without a man, because her father passed, right? And so that's who I look up to, and that's why I say, like, and I've been through it myself, like, because I was raised to be very independent without a man, and every time I've been with a man, it always ended up in a controlling way or in an aggressive way. And that's why I'm so defended. Like, that's why I hold myself the way I hold myself, because I don't want to be knocked down again, and I don't want to crumble like I have before, you know?
You won't. And the thing is that you got to be careful with the torches that are passed down to us, because we don't want to carry torches that we're trying to break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yes, honor your mother and father so you have long days. But there's a difference between honoring your mother and father and knowing the right way to do things. Sometimes your generation teaches us things, and that's something that we really need to have the respect for and the honor for, because I'm telling you, we need to listen to you guys more. We do, because you guys aren't facing the same things that we faced. You know, we met our battles. We walked through our battles. But because we walk through our battles, we have to help you walk through yours. But we need to have that open communication, because sometimes we don't know what's going on in your generation. A lot of what's going on in your generation makes absolutely no sense to us. So we need to be able to, as mother and daughter, father and daughter, or father and son, mother and son, have these conversations where we have the open door to be able to speak about these things, to be able to guide you guys in the correct way. Because what's happening is we're being shut down. We're being told to shut up. We're being told to just get up and go. And the thing is when you do that, you're shoving all of those emotions down, and they come up. Your body is not made to carry that stuff. So they come up in different ways, and you don't want to carry what's been in your family into a new generation, into your kids, into you. You have to choose that it stops with you. So there are certain things that you have been told, and you know that God told you, don't. No, we're trying to break this. We're trying to break this. That's why he's giving you these dreams, to show you, yes, you follow your mother and father, but they have to be submitted to God. but you follow him first, because sometimes you guys lead us. Sometimes you guys correct us. And that's foreign to us, because where we came from, if we ever corrected our parents, we wouldn't even be alive, you know? But this generation, need to break that. Our generation needs to break that, where we do have honor for our children. Just because they're young does not mean that they don't have a voice. You have a voice, and your voice needs to be heard. And that's the issue. That's the issue. We cannot put muzzles on our children. They need to speak. They need to speak. So just be mindful of what you're carrying and what you don't want to carry. I told my daughter this. I said, what do you want your life to look like? And she told me what she wanted it to look like. So now you need to make sure that your environment, the people around you, like that one lady said, GP healing, you know, and everything is conducive to what you are aiming for. So yes, we're going to lose relationships. There was a point where I lost a relationship with my mom because I was not honoring her. And yes, yeah, she did hurt me. My parents hurt me and things like that. But at the same time, you got to think these things have been going on for generations. Everybody's been conditioned. That's why it's like we're going up against things even that we don't even know we're going up against. That's why it feels so hard. Because when we break these curses and we say this stops with us, we don't know what we're coming up against. That's why we need God to guide us through it. Because he can show us what needs to be broken. And it's not an overnight process. You know what I mean? But mostly you need to be heard. And that's what God brought you here for, to be heard. And you are understood, and he hears you. He hears you.
I see one thing about me, right, is, and one thing I got taught specifically from my mother was, you should never, and I mean never, under no circumstance, shut your mouth when you are speaking the truth about something. You know, she always told me to speak up about something. If something makes you uncomfortable, if something makes you upset, you speak up about it. You don't let nobody, and I mean nobody, silence you. If God is telling you to speak up, you speak up. God gave you a mouth for a reason. God gave you that beautiful voice for a reason. So you need to use it. And I guarantee it will be powerful than anybody in that room. It will silence a room completely, depending on the way you use it. You know, because I remember I used to be scared of speaking up. And my mom told me straight up, like, you can't be afraid of speaking up, because that's not what God gave you a mouth for. That's not what God gave you that mindset for. God gave you that mindset, that mouth, to rise up your confidence, to rise up everything. Show them, tell people how you feel and how you are. Tell people about your opinions. Tell people about what makes you upset, what makes you happy. That's what your voice is about speaking the truth and never the lie. Because if you speak a lie, karma will get you. But if you speak the truth, God will smile and be happy and keep going. Will, like, tell you to keep going. So when you speak the truth and only the truth. If you speak a lie, always ask for forgiveness and speak the truth right after. Once you do something bad, you have to do something good. For you to do good in life, you have to make mistakes. You have to fall on your feet. You have to get on your hands and knees, and you have to beg, and you have to push, and you have to pull, because life is not going to be easy. Life is never going to be easy for you. So you're going to have to speak up for yourself. And if you have to scream it, you gotta have to scream it. God wants you to scream it. God wants you to scream it so loud to a point where everybody can hear you. Everybody will go silent, I guarantee. But it's up to you to do it. And it's up to you for God to, if you want God to give you that voice, because God will definitely give you that voice. When you speak, God is in you. The words that you speak is God's words too. So you should never disrespect God. And for you to disrespect God that's when you cuss. You shouldn't cuss, because that's disrespecting God, because you're disrespecting the voice that he gave to you. Right? So me coming up on this panel, I'm not scared to talk about how I feel. I'm not scared to talk about my downfalls and my ups, because God is telling me that it's going to be okay, because they're going to be acceptance. And if they're not accepting, then you keep moving in life and you go to the people that are going to accept you and going to tell you that you are doing just fine. And the mistakes that you make, it's okay, because at the end of the day, you will fix those mistakes. But for you to fix those mistakes, you have to apologize for the sins that you made, and you have to fix it step by step. Don't jump to it and don't go straight to it. Baby steps are always the way to it. So yeah.
Well, Missy, you're definitely welcome here. I appreciate you saying what you're saying. Mr. Yard Chat, you there? Mr. Yard Chat.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Anything you want to say to Missy?
I mean, I said it all, man. I mean, I appreciate her coming on, and you know, you always platform is always welcome. You come on anytime we on live. You always come on and share, your thoughts and your words. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I got Bible study.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, no problem. Hey, Missy, before you go, I feel like I'm encouraged to say this. Missy, follow me in Yard Chat. I don't want to speak for Yard Chat, but I speak for me. But he may agree. One of the things
I
that
everybody.
Good, and I'm gonna follow you back. One of the things that I'm doing, and I know what Mr. Yard Chat is doing, is connecting with some good people, so we can bring on our other platforms. And Missy, I think you're a candidate for that. What you think, Mr. Yard Chat?
Yeah, possibility. Yeah.
So you connect with us, and then we'll network with each other, okay? Because I feel like it's important. Your voice and your experience is important for people to hear, digest, and take in consideration, because there are other men and women who are your age as well, and so your voice was definitely needed and appreciated. It may have been a hiccup in the beginning only because there's so many people on the panel, but understand, I myself and Mr. Yard Chat, we respect everyone. Okay, we respect everyone.
I have one more request from any of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You guys told me that there are articles that I can read that reads to you. I do, of course, I read the Bible, obviously, but do you guys have any recommendations, like websites, like churches I can go explore, or online I can see?
Hey, Braveheart, you go first.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm asking, if there's any articles that will read things to me, like the Bible, or things like I talked about more about God and how he is, because I always want to learn about God, but I don't know if I'm learning about him correctly. So I'm asking if there's any places or any articles or any books that I should read or I should look into.
Oh, daughter of God, you're asking the right person and the right question. Okay. Actually, if you inbox me, I have my spiritual mother. She's a covering, and she's doing inner healing, and for people that go through trauma and things like that. Every Friday morning, she does 6:30 a.m. prayer, and then 7 o'clock in the evenings, she just has nothing but women there, and we're free to speak, and she speaks into us and pours into us. If you are interested in something like that, no pressure, you are more than welcome to come. As far as scriptures go, usually what I do is I'll go to ChatGPT, type in exactly what I'm looking for my specific situation, and it'll bring me a list of everything that I'm looking for. So this way I can study it. I usually use the SOAP method, which is a scripture, observation, application, and then prayer, because you want to understand what you're reading. Because it's easier, you're not going to be able to apply it if you don't understand what you're reading. So that's what I usually do, use the SOAP method. So, but yeah, if you want to be connected to a wonderful ministry of women, then reach out to me, and you can try it out. If you don't feel comfortable, no pressure, like I said, but reach out to me and I'll send you the link for Friday.
Okay. Fifth in chat. I know this may be a very big request from me, and I know that you guys probably don't do. Maybe you guys do or not. But when I really like talking about this. This made me come out a lot more than I'm usually used to, and I would because I've been trying to find panels to talk about God and talk about Christ and talk about what he has done and what I went through and stuff like that. So if it was possible, and if you just had panels with, if we were just gossiping about God, I would definitely be appreciative of that, because I feel like that it's a very good thing and it could be a safe place for me to let out.
Absolutely. So let me just say this, and then I'll do something specifically just catered to you, or just catered to what you just said. We go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday afternoons. Okay. So are you available? Like I said, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 12 Central. I don't know where you live in the States. I don't know where you
Las
live.
Vegas.
You're in Las Vegas? Okay, so you're on West Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So we go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Okay. 1 p.m. Eastern time, because Mr. Yorkshire is in New York, 12 Central, because I live in Houston, 10 a.m. Pacific. We will definitely do that. Next episode, I will do that. So Thursday, I will have a topic that is more Christ-centered, more biblically centered. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will send you the I'll even send you the topic. Once I get it together, I'll inbox it to you. That way you could, gather and prep for it. Okay. No problem.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm
Mr.
coming,
Yard.
ma'am.
No
Sorry.
problem. Mr.
Yeah,
Yard Chat.
I'm
Anything
here,
you want
man.
to say? Because
Nah, man,
Missy
I'm
was
good.
also kind of like, okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Beyonda.
Yes, sir.
So I am gonna end the stream. Do you have any final thoughts? And I'm gonna get with everyone before we go.
No. I joined kind of late because I was at work, but I definitely appreciated everything that I heard regarding Jesus. Like I said before, I had been struggling with my own faith this week, and hearing Braveheart talk about it and everyone talk about it has been nice. It's kind of what's the good word to say it? It's giving me more hope for the future. To choose Jesus and to choose wisdom instead of choosing myself. So, that's all I have to say about that. Appreciate all the wisdom being shared today.
Absolutely, Beyonda. Thanks for always rocking with us, man. Thank you. Braveheart, you have any final thoughts?
No, I did. I said everything that the Lord wanted me to say. I just want to say thank you, brothers. I love you guys. I love everybody in this chat room, everybody on this panel, and just keep on standing, Missy. Just keep on standing. God's got you. That's all I have to say.
All right. I'm going to.
Thank you.
Going to.
Go ahead, Missy. I'm sorry.
Goodbye.
All
you
right.
guys
Take
have
care.
a blessed day.
All right. You too. All right.
I was wanting to do a quick prayer, but I don't know if I have time for that, or if you guys are willing to do it.
Yes. Yeah. You wanted to pray, or you wanted us to pray?
Can you guys pray for me, please?
Mr. Yard Chat, lead the way.
All right, let's close out in prayer. Father God, we thank you for this platform. We thank you for each and every person that came here on this platform, God, to hear your word. Father God, most of all, we thank you for Missy, Father God, for her to hear the word, to hear the truth, Father God. Father God, I ask you to watch over her, guide her way, Lord. Speak to her so she make the right decision throughout her life, God. We know the situation. We know she got to go through a lot of things. Lord, we know it's a lot of challenges that come with this burden, but Lord, she have to put that burden on you, God. But we ask you, Father God, in your name, that you go with her, Bless her family, God. Everywhere she travels, go in front of her, God. Protect her. In your name, in Jesus' name. All right. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, amen. Thank you, Missy. You will be respected and protected on my platform, okay? You're welcome anytime.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Bless
All
you
right.
all.
Too. All right, Mr. Yarchet, any last words? And then I'm
Nah,
just in the
man, I'm good,
stream.
man. I'm good. That's it. I have nothing to say.
Okay. All right. Hey, make sure you join us next live Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. All right. Same channel. Y'all take
All
care.
right.
Everyone take care. I love all y'all. I love you, Braveheart. I love you, Beyonda. I love you, Mr. Yarchat.
All right,
My brother.
brother. Same here, brother.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.
All right, man.